click. Boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back again. Told y'all we will be back tonight. And guys, guess what? We're back like a bad case of... Now, I'm not going to say that. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button so you guys know exactly where we are and when we're on live. All right. Some people are saying they're having some problems with the YouTube notifications. I found out that if you got... Niner, we're not doing this, bro. I found out that if you guys turn off your notifications on YouTube and then turn them back on, it'll reactivate it for you guys. So make sure you go and do that, okay? Hit the like button, subscribe button, and make sure you have your bell turned on so you know exactly where we're going live. Hit us up on some of our social media pages. We have Twitter and Snapchat. Those handles are nothing but 9ERS. That is the number, nothing but 9ERS. Also hit us up on Facebook and Instagram. Those are nothing but Niners. Guys, that last show that we did with Damontre Moore, you guys were putting in some really good comments, even in the Facebook chats, but we couldn't see who you are. You have to allow StreamYard permission to view, show your name. Just click it. They don't use your personal information or anything. It is just a way, that way we can see who you are and give you a shout out. So when your message pops up on the screen, people know who you are. Maybe you get some friend requests. That's what happens on Facebook. It's friend requests, right? Yeah. So turn that on also. Hit up the website, guys. It is www.nothingbutniners.com. Your one-stop shop for any and everything 49ers from us here at Nothing But Niners, except for apparel. If you want the apparel, you got to go to shopnb9ers.com. Again, that is shopnb9ers.com. I'm your guy, 49ers Mike _NFL, and my guy Nick is here, 49er Faithful 365. What up?
Bang, bang, not a gang. Look at that. No sling today. I get out of my sling. Look at that. I can actually move my arms a little bit.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man. Look, man, I saw y'all holding it down over here earlier with the dog Damontre Moore on there. I saw him call me out. It's all good. All love Damontre. I got you, big dog. And actually, I became a huge fan of you. So, but yeah, man, you and Wayne held it down over there. Appreciate you guys.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to put him inside. Niner, if you don't stop, bro.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Niner.
He's paired like we're outside, it's dark, and anything that moves, he's like, oh, what?
He always does that. Every time he's outside when you're on. A leaf will move and he'll start barking. But yeah, man, that the interview, you guys killed it, man. I liked a lot of things that he said. I don't know what our plan is tonight. I mean, I want to talk about that a little bit. But a lot of things that he took away from there. I mean, you guys touched on a few things that I took away from that interview. Was you talked about how when he first got the call, the Ronald Blair thing, that kind of touched me, just like you were saying that it kind of like it shows that brotherhood. The same thing that Breezy was saying about how, he when he had his child, it kind of enhanced him. Those were like cool things to hear. His playlist was pretty cool to hear. But other than that, man, just him as a guy, like you can see that he's a different guy on the field than he is off the field, right? So like he's a beast and dog on the field, and you can see that he's a family man and a jokester, mama, I made it type jokester type of guy, things like that. So great dude. Seems like he has a lot of love for the sport, a lot of love for his family. Great dude. So if you guys didn't check that interview out, just make sure it's the last video that Mike and Wayne just did today. So go check that out and hit that like button, man. And if you don't subscribe to us, give us a subscription as well.
Heck yeah, man. Good dude, man. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Oh, you might want to change that over my shoulder here. It's a little red again. And my pink tree here, I don't know what this tree is called, but it blooms these big, beautiful pink and white flowers, and then the leaves fall off like every 5 days, and then it reblooms again. I don't know what this is. It's a lot of raking is what it is, but so it's kind of interacting with it. But
Gibson says when Niner starts acting up, start calling him a Seahawk, and he'll start acting right really quick.
Seahawk. You stupid Seahawk.
You stupid Seahawk.
He's looking at me like, what? He probably never heard that word.
Seahawk. He's like, I don't know what that is.
He just walked away. He's out.
Yeah, man. I want to hear. I don't know what you guys want to talk about too much. I mean, we talked a little bit about the draft, and we did that little draft show. This once April hits, I'm gonna start trying to pop out some mock drafts, whether it's during the day. Everybody's home on quarantine, so maybe we can do a couple of long hour shows, do some mock drafts and things like that, and just talk about the draft. But I'm kind of waiting until April. Like I haven't not really dug completely into the draft yet. But I will, and we'll be ready to go. So, what else you got here, Michael?
Man, something I was thinking about today, when it comes to this team, is the coaching staff changes. Didn't we lose a couple of coaches this offseason? Didn't Joe Woods go somewhere?
Yeah, Joe Woods left, and
there was an assistant.
He went to Cleveland, and then shoot, who was the other guy that left? I can't think of his name.
Was it Kiffin?
Oh, Lane Kiffin or Chris Kiffin, not Lane. Yeah. Chris Kiffin. So,
have we officially hired another DB coach? I'm having like the worst brain fart ever, and you guys got to forgive me.
I don't think we did.
Right? Like, what's taking what? What's
no? We did. We did. We hired that because you guys thought it was going to be somebody else, and
damn, I can't remember, man.
I'm trying to remember his name. Oh, Tony Oden. That's who it was.
Oh, that's right, Tony Oden. That's right.
Yeah, Tony Oden. And you guys thought it was going to be I can't think of the guy's name.
Okay.
But yeah, we hired Tony Oden to replace him. We didn't hire anybody in Kiffin's spot yet, that I believe. Okay. So which is cool. Whatever. I mean, they're doing what they got to do. You see John Lynch's tweet today?
Yeah, let's talk about that, man. That's something that we should talk about. I watched the video and then my kids started screaming. I was in the middle of it. Weren't there two different videos?
Yeah, well, they were like kind of tweeted back to back, so it was like part of a thread. So the first part was like basically, telling people what's going on, things like that. And then the second tweet video was, I guess it was his daughter or his wife, one or the other, was filming him and said, you're live or whatever. And he went on and he was just basically showing behind the scenes of how he's working right now in this, in this portion of his home. He was watching tape. I tried to go back in like slow-mo to see who I could try to guess who he was watching, right? But the girl like quickly came off and quickly went on, quickly came off. So I was trying to like pause the video so that I could see what picture it was of what team he was studying and try to think like who he was looking at in just my head. So
yeah, I was looking at that. I'm looking at like, all right, well, we know that one of the videos, it was Kentucky out there. So what big players are in Kentucky that the Niners might be eyeing, right? And then the other possibility is, well, if you can figure out what team they were playing against. And I couldn't tell. Like
I couldn't tell either.
I think all that was done on purpose. I think all that was done on purpose to get the people to talk. I mean, the message was good. We're going to get to the message in a second. But I think all that was done on purpose to get people talking about the 49ers and specifically the draft again, because we have not, when the Niners picked twice in the first round, we've done it once with this regime already. And the players, come on, I mean, am I wrong? It was Solomon Thomas and Reuben Foster.
Yeah. Look, I went on this about the other night, and I took so much trash talk in our group. And all because I said that the history of the Niners drafting in the first round, receiver-wise, has not been good. And if you look back in the 49ers history, it's really not that good. First round talent.
Right. But John Lynch has not drafted a wide receiver.
No, I understand that, but we can also go back to Scott. We can go back to other GMs that were really good in drafting.
But they have nothing to do with this regime.
Well, what has John Lynch proved to you other than Nick Bosa in the first round and Mike McGlinchey? He's got two good picks right now. He hasn't drafted a good receiver. We wasted a draft pick on Dante Pettis, who hasn't performed in an early stage round. So I'm talking first round talent.
But here's the difference.
Until he does it, it's the history's there. The history of the team is there.
If the team were to pick a wide receiver in particular, in the first round, see, that 13th pick is different than the 31st pick, and I'm going to tell you why. That 31st pick, if let's just say the team doesn't trade, that is the last time we were on the board for a long time, right? Correct. So you're going to pick a guy that you may have had a second, third, or even 4th round grade on, because that's the guy you want, and that's the last time you're on the board. And so that 13th pick is special. If we go wide receiver at that 13th pick, that tells me that the scouts and the coaching staff and the personnel all agree that that is a franchise player right there.
Right. No, and I absolutely agree with that. And I'm not saying that John Lynch can't do it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the true facts of it are the history of the 49ers drafting receivers in the first round. Doesn't matter who they are. Through the years, the only pro first rounder that they got is Jerry Rice. That turned out to be a superstar. First round pick.
Superstar. Okay. I'll give you superstar. Crabtree was serviceable. He was serviceable. Just serviceable. I mean,
yeah,
but
he's not that guy that jumps out to you like, that's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say that John Lynch can't do it. Like, I trust John Lynch in them. But right now, the truth of the matter is the 49ers do not have a good history of drafting wide receivers in the first round. Yeah. That's all I say.
I got you, man. Now, I saw someone ask what kind of cigar I was smoking tonight in the gauge of the ring size. This is a Guillermo Leon. Okay, it's a medium cigar as far as like how tight it's rolled and everything. It's a medium pull, so it burns quickly, and it is a 54 gauge. It's not a big one. Not a big one.
That's good.
All right, Nick, keep it up.
Well, look, no, I'm being serious though. Like, I hope that and basically what were we doing the other night? It was, I was trying to keep things differently. I was trying to keep things differently, and I went with a cornerback up top and then changed it to a receiver at 31st, right? And then somebody said T.O. was drafted in the first round. No, he wasn't. He was a 3rd round pick. So the only two, you got A.J. Jenkins, Robert Woods, Jerry Rice. I can't even think of Michael Crabtree.
I just can't bring myself to count anything that was done that far back and compare it to what this regime does.
No, I understand it, and it's not comparing it. It's just saying a true fact.
Right, like, you're acknowledging a trend.
Right, it's literally a trend. Like, the Niners have never, other than Jerry Rice, and I'll give you Crabtree. That's 2 out of 5 guys that we've taken since 1985. In the first round that have actually had a good career, a decent, or, Crabtree only had 1,000-yard season in his entire career, but
you know what would be a fun exercise to do? And this is something that we can do. I don't know how many viewers out there on the computer, maybe they can do it for us right now. But we have Mayhew and we have Adam Peters on this regime. And Correct. We should see what, if any wide receivers they picked in the first round. And who they were, because you got to remember these guys are going to have a major influence on John Lynch and the people that we draft. That would be a very fun exercise to see how they held up in the first round with wide receivers, if they did it at all. Not a lot, some teams don't do that. So,
right. I see a lot of people saying like, well, you can't, like, Stewart and Steve and all those guys were like, well, you can't hold that against this regime. I'm not holding that against this regime. I just literally said that I changed my pick from 13th to a corner and took a receiver at the 31st pick, because I do definitely think that the Niners aren't drafting a receiver at 13. I think they trade that pick from 13 to wherever, down or up, to establish, well, I would go down to establish more picks. And no, Dre, he definitely didn't have more than 1,000 yard seasons. He had 1, and that was his first year back off his injury, 2012. But get those picks back, and then you can still take a decent receiver at 31. All I was trying to say was, this whole point is, like, everybody is talking. There's only 3 guys that people are talking about in this draft that the Niners are going to draft. And at pick number 13 would be
at 13, yeah.
Yeah, Judy, Ruggs, or Lamb. That's the only 3 people are talking about. And you gotta you gotta go back and you gotta think about it. Like, what if the Niners don't draft a receiver? We were talking about when Mike McGlinchey was taken, we were all talking defensive line. We need edge. We need edge. We need edge. And what do? We want an offensive lineman. Now,
well, and the consensus right now, I mean, there are a lot of people who want wide receiver, but as soon as we traded Armstead, everybody was like, well, you got to draft his replacement right away. Everybody started saying that. So maybe they still go against what people think, and then they go wide receiver.
Right. And they could, but nobody's saying that. Everybody has us drafting a receiver. I haven't heard anything about a defensive lineman replacement. Okay, yeah, Dre, to correct myself, I was talking about on the Niners. He had another 1,003 yards with the Raiders. So, yes, I was technically incorrect, but I was talking about with the 49ers. He had 1,000-yard season. But, yeah,
people
Mike,
do after well, never mind.
What's that?
No, nothing. It's all right.
No, what were you going to say?
I was going to say what people do after they leave doesn't matter. I don't care about
that.
Right,
that's what I'm saying. I don't care what they did. Like, it's not like he left and had 5 1,000-yard seasons. Like, Michael Crabtree in the NFL was an average to a little bit above average in his prime in this league. He wasn't a Jerry Rice. He wasn't a, Cooks or not Cooks, Michael Thomas or an AB. Like, he wasn't that type of guys. And those guys weren't even drafted. Some of those guys weren't even drafted in the first round. Right. I think AB was what, a 6th-round pick?
I thought he was 5th. He might be 6th.
Yeah. So, but either way, I just don't think that this team drafts a receiver at 13. I don't want to be the only one that's like, whoa, we really didn't draft a receiver. Because I think they use that 31st pick for that. And like we talked about the other night, T. Higgins is a guy that you may be able to get there at 31.
Yeah.
And he's still going to give you. How can I say this? We've talked about this, Mike, and
stop it.
We've talked about this, and I think this offense isn't looking for that deep guy, like that guy that's going to burn past you or thing. He's looking for a specific route running type receiver who can run routes and get separation, somebody who can, go up and get the ball or get the ball in open space, and guys that can take the ball after they catch the football. That's what this offense is built. And T. Higgins is a guy that can do that. Right? So is Jude with his separation. Ruggs is more of a guy who's going to, he's going to go down the field on you.
You making fun of the way I say Jude?
Yeah. I'm glad you caught on to that. Because I'm like, damn, is it Jude or is it Judy? Because you say Jude and Wayne says Judy and I say Judy, but then sometimes I catch myself saying Jude because you say that shit.
Yeah.
So, but either way, I don't know, man. What are your thoughts that we do with that? That 13th overall pick.
In a perfect world, we trade back, no more than 5 spots. That would be my ideal move for the Niners, and then I still think we should take a wide receiver. We want a guy that's going to be here and a guy that's going to be, we talk about we have George Kittle. He's a 1,000-yard receiver, right? But he's a tight end, and there's Shanahan is a master of mismatches. But you put up A+ talent on this field with Kittle, Samuel. It's a nightmare, and the running backs that we have that can hit home runs. Defense. Listen, I understand that there's only one ball and it can only go to one person at a time, but if you do that, you will also know if Jimmy Garoppolo is your guy in the future. Because if for whatever reason this offense can't take the next step, then that'll throw up a big red flag because the talent is there. You hear what I'm saying? You can define other positions by what you do somewhere else. And so if Jimmy Garoppolo can't seem to take the next step with a guy like Ruggs or Judy, then you think, all right, maybe there's a reason there's an out there.
But let me ask you this question. Why do you think that Jimmy Garoppolo didn't take the next step with what he had?
I don't think he didn't necessarily take the next step. I was very happy with Jimmy Garoppolo's performance.
Right, in this offense, like that's what I'm saying. Like in this offense, I think that's all that he's asked of and maybe throw the ball deep a couple times. It's just, I was saying, like, this offense isn't that deep threat offense. Like, they work the middle of the field. Like, that's what they do.
Well, I think it looks like that's Shanahan playing to the strengths of his quarterback, right? Because he does it so well, you just feel like that's what Jimmy does well. But we don't know for sure, right? Like, because he's not asked to do it. So it's like the chicken or the egg thing. Like, we don't know what the real answer is. With that being said, you got to wonder if we get him a different weapon, do we see a different page? And with all that, you got to keep in mind how dominant this run game was. When your run game is smacking like that, you don't need to, have that Drew Brees guy out here or Matt Stafford throwing for 5,500 yards. It's just not. It's not ideal. It's not that it's not ideal. It's not possible. There aren't enough yards and possessions in the game for, you know what I mean, for your running backs to run for 230 and your quarterback to throw for 420. Like, it's
and
just,
he still had a 4,500 yard season.
Right. That's why I said I was personally happy and satisfied with what Jimmy Garoppolo bought. You have a team that, where did we finish? Third, fourth in rushing in the league?
I think
second. Was it second?
Offense total.
Come here. Let me put this dumbass in the house. I'm sorry. Hold on.
All right. Sean Shaper says J.J. Stokes wide receiver was a first and T.O. third, same draft. That is correct. What if we trade back and get some of the other wide receivers? Some other wide receiver. Mike, don't hate me for the magnetic Mike comment. I love Sean. Sean with the magnetic Mike comment. That's the best comment. That was the night. That shit was so funny.
Wait, what am I missing? What did I do?
He said J.J. Stokes first wide receiver in the first, and then T.O. in the third, same draft. What if we trade back and get some of the another wide receiver? Mike, don't hate me for the magnetic Mike comment the other night. It's all love here, man.
No, guys, listen. I actually enjoy when that kind of stuff happens. I sit back and really, guys, but I am not bothered by it at all. My wife and I laughed about it. It's all good, man. That's what we're here for. That's what family does with each other, man. We jostle with each other all the time. So I wouldn't expect anything less of you guys.
Yeah, it's just like you get a lot of guys that talk about, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that Jimmy Garoppolo has the strongest arm on this team. I don't think that he does, right? But I think that as in running this offense, I think he's the best quarterback on this roster to do so. CJ Beathard probably has the strongest arm on this team, right? And out of the three quarterbacks, Beathard, Mullins, and Garoppolo. Beathard probably has the strongest arm with the deep threat, right?
Yeah, I think that's
Jimmy
fair.
Garoppolo has probably the same range as Nick Mullins for that 25 to whatever range, but taking control of the offense, I think Jimmy's mindset is, now don't get me wrong, Nick Mullins ran the offense well too, but I think Jimmy is the best guy all around running the offense the way that Kyle Shanahan likes it as well. But like I said, I think CJ probably has by far the strongest arm for the deep ball on this team compared
Do we have a backup quarterback right now?
Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard.
I thought their contracts expired this season.
Not CJ's.
This is CJ. Oh,
Nick Mullins was tendered.
Oh, that's right. My bad. You're right. You're right.
But CJ Beathard was drafted the same year George Kittle was.
So this is the last season. Okay.
Yeah.
What you're talking with comparing these three guys. Here's the biggest difference between Jimmy and all of them, right? For whatever reason, when Jimmy Garoppolo comes out on the field, the team believes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, in general, like, it's probably just the fact that how much confidence this offense has in Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And, that's not saying anything. I'm not saying anything bad about Jimmy Garoppolo, so I don't want people to think that either. I was just trying to say that if you were to line up, it's the same as me and Mike lining up and throwing the football from the goal line to wherever. I wouldn't even say with accuracy. I'm just saying throwing the football. I still think CJ Beathard throws the football further than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
He's got that stronger arm. Now, it may even be accuracy. If you look at the accuracy of Jimmy Garoppolo deep, while receivers may catch some of those footballs, there are a lot of times that they have to stop or turn around, or they lose their footing. Look at Emmanuel Sanders. Look at Marquise Goodwin, right? When they had to turn around and catch the football and they just fall because they have to readjust to get to where the ball is, and it's underthrown.
You're absolutely right. That's where people are tricking themselves with Jimmy Garoppolo. They're saying, oh, well, he completes a higher percentage of the deep passes. He completes them, and these guys are like, what do they say, butt naked running down the middle, like they're wide open, right?
Right.
He does complete those passes, but I understand it's not about being in stride and all that, but there's some dangerous deep passes that he throws out there. Like if the safety stayed up top, some of them would have been picked, but like the plays are designed to pull the safety one way and you get somebody wide open out there,
Look at this is where I'm trying to explain this. Look at the Emmanuel Sanders play where he fell and got back up.
The Saints game.
Exactly. The Saints game, and then scored, right? That wouldn't have been a 76-yard touchdown. It was just Emmanuel Sanders' quick thinking of how fast to get up. That's all I'm trying to say is, while Jimmy Garoppolo may have a higher percentage of passes downfield caught, you have to look at how the receivers adjusted to catch those footballs as well. And, this isn't about who can throw the ball further with I'm just saying in arm strength. I think that whatchamacallit just has a stronger arm.
Yeah.
CJ Beathard.
I was gonna say something and I can't remember what it was now.
Yeah. Well, remember.
I'm trying, man. I'm sorry, bro. Similac. I see my man Tony T in here. Hope he's doing well out here. Don't get to see my guys, one of my buddies from the cigar parlor. Damn, I can't remember what the hell I was about to say. Oh, I know what I was going to say about Jimmy Garoppolo. Have you gone back and watched the Browns game?
Not in a while. No, why?
I'll say it. I'm going to go back and watch the teams that supposedly had good defensive fronts, the defensive lines that get after the quarterback. I'm going to go back and watch them. I was watching that Browns game. Jimmy Garoppolo was all over the place in that game. And I know we beat them convincingly, right? But he was a little wild out there. It was crazy. I'm like, what the hell was he doing? What was that? And I'm watching the game and I'm like, I know we win this game in dominant fashion, right? But you got to remember how that game started. Just that what was it, 80-yard run from Breida right out the
83-yard touchdown run, first play of the offensive snap.
Right. I mean, the teams that have I can't say that because I know that the Packers had a really good defensive front also, and he picked them apart. So maybe not, but I want to go back and look at the games where we played tough defensive lines and see how Jimmy performed. He starts slow against those guys because the second half of the Browns game, he was different, but we also had a comfortable lead. He didn't have to throw, so it was a little bit easier. But I feel like he started the game a little, what's going on here, So,
look, this is the difference between, and this isn't shitting on Jimmy, and I think this is where he can grow. This is where I think he can get better, right? And I don't want to make this whole show about Jimmy Garoppolo, right? But he can definitely get better, as in he is better when the run game is working properly. And that's because it pulls off the pressure of getting to him. It gives him more time. When we're down and people can come at him, he flusters a little bit. He gets you see some of his picks. He throws the ball away in weird fashion. He takes a sack when he shouldn't instead of getting rid of the football. Now, he got better this year, obviously, coming off an injury, and he may be a little still worried about getting hit as much as he says he's not. But that's things where I think he can grow, that I think he will get better at growing on, right? But he needs that run game to be going, to be able to be, I don't want to say more confident in himself because I'm not sure if that's what it is, but that's what it kind of looks like sometimes.
It's still, to me, and this is the last, and this is the last negative thing I'm going to say about Jimmy. It looks like he's over processing. instead of just trusting the play design. You know, what made us all fall in love with Jimmy was 2017.
Oh, those 5 games. Yeah.
Right. And what happened in those games was these were the play calls. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to throw the ball and see what happens. And he was just drop, boom, 3-step drop, boom, 5-step drop, boom. He was just rhythm, boom, boom, boom. That play against Seattle, obviously, where he first went in, he had to duck underneath the one guy, and then he finds.
He was definitely more elusive in the pocket that first year.
Right, and so that also could be him coming back from the injury. We're going to see that improve this year, right? Another year more comfortable in the playbook, and I think we get back to seeing the rhythmic Jimmy Garoppolo. When that happens, the league is in trouble. Like the crazy, the scary part of all of this, the Niners were still really injured. The Niners still didn't have a set of wide receivers, and the Niners didn't have their quarterback at 100%.
Right.
We're going to be a really, really good team.
And I think Jimmy is going to be a lot better this year. Like, I'm not saying that he doesn't have talent. Like, I don't want people to think that I'm bashing on Jimmy Garoppolo right now, because that's not what I'm doing. I think that there's just room for him to grow. Look, was that Niner?
Yeah, he's like looking at me like, please, can I come back outside with you?
I just think there's room to grow. This is Jimmy's first season, like playing a full season, and he's coming off an ACL injury. So I just think that there's room for improvement, but that's not saying anything bad. Like, I think
people have to learn how to receive criticism.
Yeah, like it's nothing bad.
Right, players do it. We know when they go in when the game is over, even after a win, you think they go back and watch the good plays? No, they're looking for the criticism. We're not saying that we want a different quarterback at all. We're not saying that Jimmy Garoppolo isn't the answer. None of that stuff is happening.
No,
so don't take it as
Jimmy Garoppolo is the franchise of the San Francisco 49ers, and that's the way that it should be. Right. And I'm not saying go out and get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo, but you also got to take into the fact that even though you like a player, you have to be able to still be able to pick out his faults and where he can get better. Like, that's what this is. This is just saying, hey, you're good. And these are what coaches do too. You're good here. You don't think their coaches say you think the coaches go in there and say you're perfect? No, there's things that he can always work on. And I think that there's some things that Jimmy can work on to make this team even better and himself better. That's all.
Yeah. I can't. If once he's 100% comfortable in this offense, like that Super Bowl, there's no way we lose that Super Bowl if he's 100% confident. Because there were some plays out there that you could see he was taking the safe throws, and it wasn't working. It wasn't enough. And like, we're going to be deadly. I'm telling you guys, like this Super Bowl window is a nice size window that we're looking at right here, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun for years to come. It really, I truly believe that.
Yeah, there's some silly throws. You can go back and look at any quarterback and say that they've made silly throws. You can go back to Tom Brady. Obviously Jameis Winston in the 30 for 30 for 30. Like he made some crazy throws too. But I'll be honest with you. I don't think this team is as good. This offense is as good as it was this year with another quarterback under center.
No, not at all.
I don't think with a Nick Mullins, and I'm a big Nick Mullins fan. Like, you guys all shitted on me when I said to start Nick Mullins over CJ Beathard when he was still on the practice squad. How much shit did I take for that?
There's one quarterback that I think that the team could have had, and we would have had a better season. Only one in the entire NFL. And if I gave you 5 guesses, you might not get it. But do you want to try? It's one quarterback I think that if we had him, the Niners probably go 16-0 and win the Super Bowl. Like, the only one quarterback.
And it's a guy that you wouldn't expect.
Well, I mean, when I say the name, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just going to take a guess out of here, and this is probably wrong, but Ryan Tannehill.
No, hell no.
Okay.
No, Matt Ryan.
Because of the system. Yeah, I was just thinking like, because you're like, and you probably never guess it. So I'm like thinking a guy that I would never
be outrageous. Yeah. No, I think that if we had, but only because it's not about ability as much as the system and, being able to read things and process at the quick speed. We saw what he did with him. And that does not mean that I want Matt Ryan, because I don't. I think Jimmy Garoppolo has a higher ceiling, and I think that he can be better than what Matt Ryan was in the system once he plays 2 seasons in this system,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense. So I'm not trying to say that I want him over him, but I
Well,
think
Mike,
that
I mean, for those that have been watching our show for years, they know that we've been preaching that Matt Ryan in his second year is when he became MVP and had a really, really good year.
bingo.
Jimmy Garoppolo just had a really stellar year in his first year. And we've been saying, the first year when Jimmy Garoppolo was here with 5 games, we're like, oh my God, wait till he's in this system for 2 years. Then obviously he got injured. So now that pushes the time limit back. But we've been saying that on the show for almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
2.5, 3 years.
Remember we were trying to convince ourselves last year was going to be the year because we were like, well, that counts as one all season. The 5-game stretch. We were like, that counts as 1 year. And I was like, no, guys, it was a watered down playbook. Like we shouldn't count it. But we wanted it to be so true. We wanted it to be his second year in the system so bad because we know what the potential is. We knew it from day one, like you said.
Right.
But this would be the real year too.
I think I'm with you on that. I personally think Jimmy Garoppolo is the answer in this offense. He knows how to run this offense. He's good with Kyle Shanahan, and he can do what Kyle Shanahan asked. Everybody thinks that Kyle Shanahan is just like everybody just thinks we need this deep guy, somebody to take the top off, and we need this type of receiver. And every year you're getting a 5'10", 5'11" type guy who's quick with his feet, good separation, has good hands, has good speed after the catch. So I don't know why people don't see what is happening here in the Niners organization and stop saying like, oh, well, just give him, a superstar receiver. Like, it depends on what Kyle Shanahan's going to call and how what's that?
No,
and how they utilize this guy. It doesn't matter who you bring in here. It matters what Kyle Shanahan's still going to do. Like, the way that he runs this offense is you may get a deep ball here and there, and you get people try to catch you slipping. So,
yeah, I don't think this team needs a Julio Jones. I know everyone's saying, oh, well, that's why he's not. No, that's not what I'm saying at all, because I'll be honest with you.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying fans in general.
No, what I was going to say was, I'll be honest with you guys. I think, how do I phrase this the right way? I think Kyle Shanahan was more creative with the way he used Deebo the last half of the season than what he was while he had Julio. He was more creative. He found more ways to get the ball in his hands and make him an effective player in this system. If you go back and you look at the last, I was going to say 8 games. You can do the last 8 games of the regular season, but even the playoffs. You look at the games where he totaled more than 100 total scrimmage yards, not just receiving yards. Look at the games where he totaled 100 scrimmage yards. I think you'd be surprised. Like
Deebo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was a ton. I mean, there was times where he just had one rush for 30, 40 yards.
Exactly. That's my point.
But that's what I've been trying to say is I keep hearing this number 1 wide receiver shit. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're thinking number 1 wide receiver because you're thinking big names, OBJ, Julio Jones, Michael Thomas. But that doesn't mean that they will perform in this offense. They wouldn't be. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. Like, they're like, well, give Kyle Shanahan a number 1 wide receiver. Well, Deebo might be his number 1 type of receiver.
Yeah, for sure.
He's utilizing him in different aspects and getting the ball in his hands. That's what a number 1 wide receiver is getting the ball into that guy's hands. Like, I don't like these numbers. Like, I don't like numbers of an offense because every game, somebody could be the different number 1 wide receiver. One week it could be George Kittle's the main wide receiver, and he's the number 1 guy on that offensive team. It's just the way that you attack people. So I just don't know, like, these guys, like Michael Thomas's game doesn't fit in a Kyle Shanahan system. It takes away from Michael Thomas.
I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit because I feel like
I like that. That's what this show's about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Thomas eats across the middle, and I think that's the wheelhouse for Kyle Shanahan from what we've seen here in San Francisco. And so I think that Michael Thomas will eat in a system like this. I do think that he would be that dominant guy, the fearless dude going across the middle with some size, with some giddy up in him. You know what I mean? So I do think that Michael Thomas would be okay here right now. I do think he would. But there's other guys. All right, I'll give you a top 5 wide receiver in my opinion that I don't know if he would do as good here, and that's Mike Evans. I don't know if I can't say with confidence that Mike Evans would be 1,000-yard wide receiver in the system. He's a big physical guy, right? But I just don't know how he would fit here going across the middle. Jimmy doesn't throw a lot outside the numbers. And to me, that's Mike Evans' world. Like you throw him the ball over there towards the sideline, he's making a play on it. I just don't know how that fits with Jimmy Garoppolo. And so, like you said, it's not about you can't just take any wide receiver and put him here and he's going to be good. You can do it with a DeAndre Hopkins.
Like people are basing this off of receivers in other systems, right? And it's the excuse as, well, Jimmy's never had a number one. Well, what is a number one? Like, that's what I'm trying to ask these people. I'd really like to hear some people are telling me I'm crazy because any number one in this system will perform. We need a guy to take off the top. Well, we don't throw the ball over the top. It does, and it's not because we don't have a type of guy to do that. It's just we don't do it. That was crazy. I heard a cat outside like screaming.
They're mating. It's mating season, man. They think it's springtime already.
But I don't understand. Like, what are your thoughts on this whole? Like, look. There were a lot of people who were this year were picking between DK Metcalf and Deebo Samuel, right? And take this guy. Oh, he needs this. He needs that. Blah blah blah. But I don't even know if I can use those as comparison, because
I think I'll answer your question for you. Yeah, you can let him out. You can let him out. What? And he keeps looking at me in the window like, oh, I want to go back outside. You better not be barking at people, Seahawk.
Seahawk.
I think Deebo is a better fit for this system than Metcalf. Metcalf would not be able to do the things that Deebo was asked to do in the system. No. As efficiently as Deebo did it.
I agree. And that's where I'm saying, everybody is just thinking, take the top off. And people can come at me all they want, but it's never going to change my mind. To me, that's not a Kyle Shanahan system. Anywhere I've seen Kyle Shanahan play, he's rarely been take the top off type of guy. Cleveland, he did it a very, very reluctantly. I'm trying to think of where else. Cleveland. Julio Jones, he started utilizing all over the field, not just as a deep threat to take the top off. Julio started becoming more of a route runner when he was a coordinator and running the ball across the middle and all that stuff more than what he was doing when he first came in the league. But people are saying this number one stuff. I don't Kyle Shanahan doesn't beat you by pure talent up against talent. He beats you by putting people in the right position where you're not going to be.
Right.
That's what he does. He's a genius as in developing plays and beats you. And that's why he says it's all about matchups. And you hear him call plays and say, you've heard players say, like George Kittle, oh, if I do this correctly, I'm going to be wide open right here because their coverage dictates they can't cover me right here.
Right. And, I hate when people compare sports to chess, but Kyle Shanahan that's as close to playing chess where he's setting things up. When you play chess, you don't just have a move and go after the king. You have to set up the rest of your board so that way when you attack, there's no outlet. That's how you have to sacrifice some pieces. And that's why you'll see Kyle Shanahan take a bunch of throws underneath, and you line up in that same formation again, and everyone's like, all right, we know it's going to be an underneath throw, and then boom, he's setting you up. He's giving you 4 plays so we can get 1 play off later on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Baldy did a breakdown earlier in the season. What game was that? It was a big game. And they showed the same tight 3 with Kittle.
I think it was against Carolina. He's like, if it just keeps working, just run it again. Like that, is that the one you're talking about?
No, he used the same. It was three receivers with three pass catchers with Kittle in the bunch to one side and one person up at the top. And he did it 3 different times. And it was like a screen or a run, and then the next one was like a huge play to Kittle, all from the same exact formation. It was in a Baldy's breakdown, but that's what I'm talking about. Like he prides himself on doing stuff like that. He has fun when he can manipulate the opposing team. And that's I love this fucking team. Oh, I love this team, man. I really, really do. This team is a lot of fun, and it's only going to get better. So I'm excited. My dog is now eating wood, he's like, all right, it's cool.
Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, where people just think that they just need this receiver to take the top off. Like, if you want to phrase it differently and say, we need a receiver who's going to demand double teams, and we need a receiver who's going to demand this to open up other things. As of right now, and I know people say it about, Goodwin, we've had this talk before, but Goodwin is your speed guy who takes the top off and pulls safeties over, right? Deebo is a slant guy. Kendrick Bourne played more out of the slot this year than he did outside, right? So, I said Bourne, right? I did say Bourne played more out of the slot.
I thought you said Deebo.
I said Deebo, and I said, all right, so Bourne can play more out of the slot, throwing me off with like all the stuff that you're doing. It's like swatting bugs. Bourne played more out of the slot percentage-wise this year than he did on the outside, right? And we're talking about needing a guy to take off the top, and we just made it to a Super Bowl. Do you think a guy to take it off the top? Yes, maybe a little bit faster than Emmanuel Sanders to catch that football and we win that game? Yes, but you can't say that we lost that game because we didn't have anybody to take off the top. So, I just think that it's, I guess it's personal preference, I guess. But
we've had the guys that can take it off the top, and we've had that with Marquise Goodwin here, and we lost that aspect of it in the first half of the season. It didn't pose the same threat anymore.
Right. So what did they say? You hear him on the broadcast. Kyle Shanahan attacks the middle of the field, and then when you start covering that, that's when he starts to hit you with the run game, and then when you go back to the run game, he's going to take the middle of the field away again. That's just what he does,
Tim Duncan posted a really good comment right here. I can't click on it, but he says Kyle needs to let Jimmy loose. Stop making him think so much. Give him a little bit more freedom at the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? Give him. I'm not saying that he doesn't have the ability to audible, but I know Shanahan calls 2 plays in the huddle. And then lets his receiver lets Jimmy choose, whatever. But I feel like give him a little bit more freedom than that. Let him get out there and have some fun. Let him play some football. I was talking about this. I believe it was on a show, maybe 3 shows ago, or I might have just been on the phone with somebody. The reason why the Chiefs playoff run was so much fun for people to watch, is because the Chiefs were down in every playoff game by multiple scores. So you know what they did? They were like, hey, go out there and have some fun. At one point, you can hear him calling his own plays on the sideline during timeouts. You can hear Mahomes saying, hey, let's do this play. They were like, well, I wasn't going to call that one. Yeah, but let's do it. Can we do it? Can we try it now? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you let the quarterback go out there and do what he wants to do, not so much what you want him to do. Andy Reid is one of the best play callers in the league, but he gave that freedom to his quarterback. And you know what happens when you go to the huddle? Hey, bro, I got to play for you. We're going to call this play. I'm calling your number. You know what? Now all of a sudden it's like, yeah, like people are like, oh, this is my moment. Like they want to, they want to rise to the occasion. My quarterback believes in me right now in a big game. They were down so much in these playoff games. You look at that Houston game, they were down 28-7 or some crazy shit like that. And then they just ran off like, what was it? Like 6 touchdowns consecutively or something like that. Like when you believe in your quarterback to that extent, or when you got nothing to lose, the game becomes a lot more fun. And the same thing happened to us this year against the Saints. Against the Saints, we were down, 3 touchdowns at one point? And they were like,
we were down 21-7, I believe, was like, we went down and scored, they went down and scored, and then they went up, I think it was like 28-7 they were up. And then
like, hey,
And then they were up 27-7. And then we came back and took the lead 28-27 going into half.
Right. And they were like, hey, go play football. Like, you release. You got nothing to lose at this point. You're down so much. Nobody expects us to come back and win. Let's see what you got now. We need more of that, but all game long. You get what I'm saying? It's cool to be conservative and all that stuff. Let's open this shit up a little bit. Like Tim says, Kyle needs to let Jimmy loose. And you got to do it. You have to do it. You have to. And I think
we don't know what we're going to see from Jimmy Garoppolo this year. Like, nobody knows. It's going to be interesting to see how Jimmy grows this offseason and how much more trust Kyle Shanahan has in him. You can see a lot of frustration in Kyle Shanahan's face when Jimmy misses throws.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the fact that the guys were wide open the way that it was dialed up.
Mm-hmm.
And but I also don't think that it's Kyle Shanahan don't think that we have anybody who can take the top off or go deep. I think it's just that's not his style anymore. Like, that's not saying that if you draft somebody that he'll utilize him like that. But I just don't think that this offense is more of a fast-paced offense, as in getting rid of the football and taking the yards after the catch and just marching downfield on you, and time of possession. You always hear Kyle Shanahan. Time of possession to him is the most important aspect of the offensive side of the football. You don't give them, their quarterback or their team, enough time to score points again.
He says that, and then in the Super Bowl we had that 25-second possession towards the end of the game where we didn't run the ball at all. It was bad. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, he's got to, but it's gonna be fun. Everything is a learning experience, and it's on all sides. It's learning for the players, it's learning for the coaches as well, and it's even learning for the personnel guys. All right, guys, look at this game that we lost. Look at all the games that we lost. What could we have done? How can we improve? How can we get better? And that's why I'm really excited about this draft. This draft right here is the most important draft that any of these guys will have. It literally is, and it's not because you just went to the Super Bowl. We have to see how you answer. The reason it's the most important is because you have had time to analyze who's important, who's not, what you're missing, what you have that's a strength, and how can you utilize those strengths? How can those strengths branch out and find another strength? You get what I'm saying? Like, so if I'm really, really good at taking a slant across the middle, right? And I do that a lot. All right, well, maybe what can I make look like a slant that is going to make everybody bite on it, and I can do something different? You get what I'm saying? Like, now it's time to start adding to the strength of this team. And so I want to know. I really want to see what they're going to add to the team this year. That's what I'm excited about. I really, really am.
Somebody had posted a comment, hey guys, why don't you have Silverado Kev on here anymore? Kev's just been really busy with he's writing now for Niners Nation, so make sure you guys check out his links over there. What's that?
He just dropped an article too. He just dropped an article
over there for Niners Nation. But no, it's just he's really tied up. It's not that he's no longer part of the NBN crew or anything like that. It's just he's got a lot of stuff going on, so he's more than welcome anytime. He knows that. But that's just to explain why he hasn't been on there. So
yeah. By the way, shout out to all the players that are watching this show right now. I just want to say that.
Yeah, as you know,
Stay. Come here. Sit down. Sit down. Stay. Stay.
You're just pissing him off.
No, there's somebody walking right here.
Oh.
And I don't want him running over there towards the person. That's enough. They're not bothering me. Shut up, Seahawk. I think he don't like that.
This is a question right here. So I hear this all the time. Like, Kyle Shanahan hasn't really opened his playbook. Like, I hear this all the time. I just don't know if I just think Kyle Shanahan develops plays and calls his plays the way that the team he's facing. Like, he has concepts and things like that, but I don't think he has this true legitimate playbook that's this big and he just throws it on the table. Like, I think there's as Mike was saying earlier, there's 4 different plays, the same setup, the same line up the same exact way, but are ran different ways and route concepts and things like that. And I think that's what makes it so difficult. But I think that he said it himself. He's like, it's football. He's like, there's only certain formations you can run. He's like, It's just a matter of what you run off of them. So I don't think this playbook is crazy big, like everybody thinks, like this huge. But I think it's just the players have issues learning it because there's so many plays that are run off the same formation. And it's like the way that they run, oh shit, well, am I supposed to do this on this or this on this? Like, I'm lined up this way, such and such, but whatever. So,
yeah,
but I don't know.
I do think we've seen a lot of Kyle Shanahan's playbook, and because you know what the tricky part is with when a lot of us say this, and I'm not the biggest all 22 watcher. I have done it, and if you guys haven't already, guys, like, if you want to know what Kyle Shanahan's playbook really is, right now the NFL is running this thing where it's free to have NFL Game Pass. Mm-hmm. I strongly encourage you guys to go get it, right? And it's free right now. They don't even ask you for a credit card, as a matter of fact. Like, it's super free. Like, it's real free. Go get it, sign up for it, and watch.
I already paid for the year, which sucks. But
I know, right? Sucker. No, I'm kidding. Go back and watch some of these games on the All 22, where you can see the entire field. So when we're watching these TV versions of the game, they follow the ball only. So you don't know what wide receivers are doing and everything like that. And if you don't think Shanahan's playbook is like really good, or what we've seen is a vast amount of stuff, it's really, really good. Like, what he cooks up is absolutely incredible. I can't say I've never seen anything like it, because I never cared to watch all 22 before. I got into it a little bit this year and last year, and it's a lot. He throws a lot at teams. Like, he forces teams to have to make a decision before the ball is snapped, and he knows what decision they're gonna make because he's forcing them to react that. I don't know how to explain it. Just do yourselves a favor, guys. Every single one of you guys watching.
It's the way that, like, receivers will line up in the same place, and it looks like they're running to the same exact spot. And it's just the way that he constructs things, because this back is coming out this way. A tight end is coming this way. The other tight end is wrapping around. Like, for the example, the one George Kittle play where George Kittle comes in motion, like he's coming to block. He goes to block, and then he just cuts back and goes back the opposite way and gets lost behind the line of scrimmage. But that's runs off a play where he comes across like that normally and hits the blocker. So the linebackers and everybody shift over, but then Kittle comes back the other way and gets lost behind the line of scrimmage, and the defender's like, wait, where did he go? Right. Oh, he's already over there.
3 times this year that I saw, I don't know how many other times, there's been a play where it looks like someone gets pancaked in a block, or they fall down, and then they break out and they're wide open. Now, the ball didn't always go to them. I think only one time this year that I see the whole fell down. Yeah, and it went to Kittle, right? But I saw it 3 other times where they didn't get the ball. And it's like, that's all by design. They're not tripping over nothing. And one little quick hand to the shoulder is going to knock someone over. Like, but these are all part of the play design. And then Jimmy goes somewhere else with the ball, which is fine because it was still a game. But it's so much little stuff that he does that makes you appreciate the work he does.
Like, I just think, and remember, we talked about this on there, and I talked about this before, I don't think that Kyle Shanahan changes his playbooks, but I think that his game plan is different plays than he's run all year. I think his game plan is like, this is the game plan I'm going to go off of, and this is what we're going to practice. Or, each week I'm going to throw in a different play so that one day I can just use that in the playbook, right? And you heard Emmanuel Sanders say that. I've been practicing this play for 4 weeks or 5 weeks. Niner. Can't even hear me. I've been practicing play 4 or 5 weeks, and I kept throwing ducks. And I was surprised that Kyle Shanahan called it in this playbook, in this game. And I was like, oh, my God, don't throw a duck. I've been throwing ducks all week. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see Jimmy Garoppolo in this offense again, because I think that he can do it, and I think he's just going to get better.
My favorite part about that example you just used is that it didn't work all week long, and he had the ball.
Still used it.
Mm-hmm. But again, that's when we were down by so much. You got nothing to lose, right? Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's exactly what I'm saying. Perfect example of it. You got nothing to lose.
I don't think we were down by a lot, though. I think we were only down by a touchdown. I think we took the lead on that one.
But that was when we were coming back, though. That was in the first half when that play happened, right? Or was that the second half?
No, I think it was the second half.
Well,
If I believe, I mean, I don't remember. I was there. I don't remember like exactly, but I think it was the second half. Because then I remember the Saints fan going, dude was wide open. Like, who was covering him? But they didn't see that it was a trick play.
Right.
So,
right. Because they're looking down the field. They're like, what the hell is happening? But you got to realize that the defenders are watching. So if they're lined up in zone, their eyes are forward. You know what I mean? No one's looking to go back with the receivers and shit like that. You know, it's so cool, man. It's so cool. And I'm not the biggest X's and O's guy. I don't pretend to know all that stuff. But when you watch it on all 22, you can see when he uses formations and you see the entire defense shift. You know what I mean? Or you'll see when they snap the ball, the entire offense goes this way, and you got one guy going this way. And it's just it's you see it looks like what's it called when the chicks are in the water? Synchronized swimming. Yeah. It looks like synchronized swimming from an aerial view when you watch the all 22. It's so
that's exactly what I was trying to explain earlier, right? Kyle Shanahan's offense is technical. It's not, I'm going to line up in front of you and beat you. Like, that's not what it is. It's a matter of technicality and misdirection type of offense. It's like it's not necessarily like an old wing tee, but that's the concept of it with a lot of misdirection, right? It's a lot of motions and changing positions and getting you confused as to where people are going. That's why I say that it's not as important as most people think it is to have that guy who's going to just blow you out of the water and beat you over the top, because Kyle Shanahan's not going to come out winning games just throwing 40-yard bombs each and every time, because that's not his type of offense.
But now here's my question to you. If he had that guy that could do that, don't you think the play designs then change a little bit more?
No, because I think when Marquise Goodwin was here and almost had his 1,000-yard season, they still weren't doing that.
Yeah, but it was with 3 different quarterbacks, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like it was a consistent offense that people were ready to game plan for, because the Marquise Goodwin's deep threat really vanished when Jimmy got under center. When he was shining with Jimmy Garoppolo, it was all underneath stuff that no one expected, because the first 2 quarterbacks, it was Hoyer and Beathard. Those first 2 guys were using the deep threat. They were throwing out bombs that were not being caught, but people respected it, right? So they were playing back. Jimmy got in there, and it's the same formation. They're playing back, but Marquise Goodwin was running a 10-yard stop.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm trying to say, like, you know, that's not all on Marquise Goodwin either, saying that he can't do it. And obviously, you know, he's been through a hell of a lot going through things. And I really think that he's back this year and has a hell of a year. I hate to break that to people, but I really think Marquise Goodwin's on this team next year, and he has a hell of a season. To be honest with you.
Marquise? Huh? What's up, Marquise? I just said what's up to him.
Hey, you know I've always liked Marquise, so but you know, is Jimmy that quarterback who's going to do that? Because you just said it like a second ago, right? Marquise Goodwin was doing it with Brian Hoyers and doing it with CJ Beathard's. But the minute Jimmy Garoppolo came and went into the offense, Marquise Goodwin was being used underneath. He wasn't being used as that speed, take you over the top guy. They utilized Marquise Goodwin differently in the offense once Jimmy Garoppolo came under center.
I want us to get the guy at the wide receiver position and just see what.
I hope that we draft the best receiver in the league, whether it's any of those 3, right? But I just don't think that we're like I said, I just don't think that we're drafting. I just don't think we're drafting a receiver at 13. I think we trade that position. What's he doing? Chasing leaves?
My stepmom bought my wife these $80 pillows. I don't remember what they're called. Something to do with like bamboo, something or other. They're full body size pillows. Like, and she bought us 2 of them, one for me and one for my wife, right? And mine was hanging off of the side of the bed. So Niner pulled it into the kennel with him and like started chewing it up. So what I did was I took the case off. I still have the pillow, but I took the case off. And it's like this, I don't even know what material this thing is. And it's his toy now. So what he does, I tied it into a big ass knot. And so like we'll like tug of war with it and stuff. So when he gets it, like if I Niner, get the toy. Where's your toy? Where's your toy? Get the toy. Now he's gonna make me like a freaking idiot. Get the toy. Where's your toy?
And you just start shaking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's funny.
This dog, he's a freaking nut, man. And then he'll put it down and start barking.
I gotta come get some puppy love, man. I miss my dog.
Yeah, man. Yo, you need to come over. That's what you need to do.
Yo, I will when the coronavirus is gone.
I know, right?
I live like 25 minutes, 20 minutes from you, and I can't even come say what's up. Look, I mean, I think we should bring some fans on if some fans want to come on and talk shop with us for a little bit.
Yeah, hell yeah. I want to chat with some people. I mean, we're out here kicking it. We like talking and interacting with people. So guys, if you want to join the show, now is the time. Let's talk some Niners. Come on, ask us a question or just get your thoughts off on it. Maybe you tell us if you don't think the Niners are going wide receiver or defensive tackle.
Or tell us why you think they're going wide receiver or but let's if you guys want to come on, let me know. If you're on Twitter, just send me a Twitter DM. I can send it to you, the link there to you. If you're following us on Facebook, I don't know, Mike, can they Facebook message you? I'm not on Facebook, so.
I can try to do a split screen on my phone. Hold on 1 second. If it kicks me off, I'll be right back, okay?
Yeah.
Am I still in?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I will open up Facebook for the Facebook people. Oh, no, wait. I need to open up Messenger, don't I? Not Facebook?
Well, you can still get to Messenger that way. But, guys, if anybody wants to pop on, I know Dre was in here. Oh, that's like a dog. Like, How'd you put your screen?
Oh, because I went to the main menu, so I'm trying to so it turned it portrait mode instead of landscape. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to open up Messenger. Once I open up Messenger, it'll flip back. It's in alphabetical order, and I'm trying.
Mike, how old is Niner now?
Niner will be 2 at the end of October.
All right.
So I don't know. I'm not doing the numbers right now, but it'll be then. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still there.
Am I back at landscape?
Yeah, you're frozen though.
Yeah, it says that it can't do it in this mode. I got a new message here from somebody. Let me see if this is it.
Oh.
Oh no, that's for work. How did he find me on Facebook? That's not cool. All right. Anyhow, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, I want to rap with some people. Let's get some people on here. Where's JD at? Oh no, you know what? We're probably not going to get a lot of people because I think Rombo is live also.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I saw someone in here say that Rombo was on. Well, they were talking junk to Dre. They were like, Dre, Rombo's on. Go over there. I don't know why people so hard on Dre, man. I like passionate people about the team.
I like Dre too. It's just the way Dre comes off sometimes with people.
Well,
that's my thing.
It's because he curses, and so people think that like he's always angry and stuff. Like that's just how people speak, man. You know, we gotta embrace everybody, man. Let me see. Let me look at some of these comments in here. Jeff Okuda. I like him a lot, man.
Nice we were talking about him the other night, and people were like, what?
How long did you have Niner? I got my dog 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Huh? Are you talking about that?
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I got you. I got Niner 2 days before Christmas. He was a Christmas gift for my kids. Niner was actually born October 27th. I know that because it's a special date. But Just DM Mike on Facebook. All right, so Chris, I'm gonna get that message soon. Is when Nick comes back, because it's gonna make me freeze. I'll open it up then, but I don't want to wait. I don't want to do that now while he's gone also. And we're gonna get you on here, man. Yeah, man. So let's do this. We would open up the phone lines, but we do the phone line on my phone when I'm on my computer, and since I'm not on my computer, we can't do that. Let's see, people asking. Let me see here. I'm not here to badmouth any other 49er pages here on YouTube. So where is my man JD at? Is it a coincidence a guy named JD Hawk Hater turned out to be a guy that hates the Seahawks? Oh no, man. JD absolutely hates them, man. I love JD's channel too, man. If you guys don't subscribe to him, make sure you guys go and subscribe. That's my guy. Like my guy. And JD, I have not forgotten about our game of Madden. I've been waiting for you to tell me when you're ready. I owe you a win. I'm going to try to beat you, but I'm going to lose because I don't play Madden often. I'm going to lose badly, too. I'm really going to try. I'm ready for that. We can make that happen tonight, too, JD. What's up, bro? Don't be scared. All right, let me see what other things are here. Dre back. What's up, Dre? Good. Dre said he'll hop on, too. Okay, cool. Move, Poppy, because you're going to knock over my drink. Oh, by the way, my drink. I know nobody asked me, but this is a cognac that was recommended to me by Miss Debbie. I'm probably going to butcher the name, but it's called Meucow, Meukow. She recommended this. She recommended the vanilla. She thought that my wife would like it because it's a sweet drink. And this is not the vanilla, but it's still a sweet drink. But I guess it's because I drink a lot of whiskeys. They're not normally sweet like this. And it's not bad at all. That's what I've been sipping on tonight, man. Yeah, I see people showing love to JD. That's right. Draft YouTubes are cool. Yeah, man. Guys, I'm going to say something really quick. If you hate the Seahawks, hit that like button. I just want to know how many people hate the Seahawks, because a lot of people don't think that the Seahawks are the biggest competition to the Niners right now, which is kind of crazy, right? I think that if there's a team that's going to threaten us this year, I think it's the Cardinals. I really think the Cardinals have a bounce back year. I think if the NFC West sends two teams to the playoffs, it's the Niners and the Cardinals this year. I really do. And I know that some people might not like hearing that because, it's only their second year with their quarterback and head coach. I'm telling you guys what I think. And from the move that they're making, if they go Meucow, it's MEU though, but yeah, if they go defense. Hey, don't be on the kids' table. If they go defense with their first pick, they're gonna be all right. I'm not gonna try to tell them how they should draft, but if they go on the defensive side of the ball, they're gonna be okay, man. They're gonna be okay. Yeah, thank you guys for the compliments on my dog too. He is an Argentinian Mastiff, or a Dogo Argentino. That's cool, right? Mike, how you guys get D Moore on? All right, so interesting story about Damontre Moore. Nick and I did the breaking news video for Moore, and as soon as we did the video, I don't know if he looked it up or if his agent did, but he found us and he sent me a DM and was like, "Hey, thanks for the love on your show." There were some other things said in there because there was a little bit of hate. We thought he was just going to be a camp body. I'm saying we because
it wasn't hate. It wasn't hate.
I mean, when you call somebody, when you say like, "Oh, he's not going to make the roster, he's just a camp body." I mean,
it's a tryout. It's a tryout. That's what it is. That's you don't really know. No, it's not. It's not hate. It wasn't hate on him, and I hope he knows that. It was just he said himself today on the show that defensive line was performing really, really well.
Okay, wait. I'm not using hate as in like the literal term. I'm using it as how people use it now. Like Nick, like you hate on me, but I don't think you hate me.
Okay, yeah. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
So
I was just like, what kind of move is this? Like, our line is playing good. You know what I mean? Like, is he coming in to compete and be like fill the roster type camp body type thing?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that his skill set wasn't good enough to make this team. And like I said, since then, people come along with guys, and I love Damontre Moore.
And you know what's cool though? Like when we do these breaking news videos, believe it or not, guys, we research these people that we sign, right? And so I think what the biggest factor was that it also has to do with where we are. Nick and I are up in the Northeast, so we know whether we want to or not, a lot of the moves that the Eagles make and a lot of the moves that the Giants make. I remember when they drafted him, that this was a guy that had first round talent, but they had, red flags and personality issues or whatever, and that caused him to fall to the third round. And so, but when you say that on a show and a player hears that, they're like, wow, this person knows who I am. Like, it's not just, oh, we signed some guy named Damontreuil, like we knew who he was. We said everything right, and they respect that. They were, we don't just come on here and just spew shit all the time. We do that sometimes because we're not the most informed people, right? We're not, in the league circles and all that like that. But
we should be, though. Hey, we should start a petition that we should be in the league's.
I know.
Right? We should get those credentials, guys. Let's go get that petition out there.
We're slowly working on it. I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes. Nick don't even know about the stuff I'm working on, man. But I'm trying to get us to be.
Yeah, I know. I'm
trying to get
everything on NBN, and I don't know. I have like secrets now.
I'm going to recruit you to start helping me out because I've done some things. I need some help with it though. But I'm going to tell you what it is after the show. Just remind me. All right, now that you're back, let me pull up this message from somebody who said they want to join. Did you send the message to somebody to get them to come on?
No.
So Dre said that he'll hop on if you want. And then there's another message that I got in.
Dre, send me a message on Twitter.
I'm going to pull up my thing really quick. So I'm going to freeze. It's going to go landscape, but I'm going to freeze. Okay.
All right.
Let me see.
Dre, I'll send you the link on your Twitter account, bud. Give me 1 second. And I'll send that over.
Here. All right. He says, send the link. All right. I know what I got to do. Hold on. Bear with me. I have to go back to, we're going to do that one there. And we're going to go back to WhatsApp. Oh, can we send messages through WhatsApp to people? A lot of people have WhatsApp, right? So if you have WhatsApp, we can send you the link that way also. Hey,
yeah, but he has to have your telephone number for WhatsApp.
Oh, okay. Hey, we reserve the right to boot people also, man. I'm just letting y'all know now. You come on here talking nonsense.
There's Dre.
All right, so Dre's already in here. All right, so I just sent the link to Chris.
Oh man, what's going on, bro?
What's up, man?
Man, just chilling, bro. Binge watching this Ozarks. Trying to slow down, so I'm watching.
I know. I just started watching 3
already.
Yeah,
tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I started watching it earlier than we were doing the show, so I was like, "Damn, I gotta stop watching." I didn't even get through episode 1 yet.
No, my wife.
No, last night he told me the first 5 minutes was fire. I was like, "Oh shit, you just did this?
Crazy,
what?"
Bro. Yeah, bro.
Is that good? My wife is gonna kill me.
It's more this season. Like the first 2 seasons was a lot more action and killing and stuff. This season is more like the plot is more intricate. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta watch the storyline, but it's pretty good.
That's what I like. Believe it or not, I'm not about the action and all that stuff. I want to see. I like well written pieces, think pieces like that make you think.
Right.
And I'm not going to say political, but the maneuvering in the room full of vultures. I like that kind of stuff. So hopefully that's what this lives up to.
Yeah, bro, definitely. Yeah, man, that Damontre Moore, that was man, that's cool, bro. That it shows that the platform is working, and like you guys say, man, it's a lot of guys that sit and watch and don't type nothing. You know what I mean? They're actually sitting and watching, and they're paying attention to what people have to say. And I think that it makes us more mindful of what we say and what we type. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some players, bro, that's sitting back and watching and seeing what's going down, and they trying to get the feel of how the faithful feel about them. You know what I mean? So I thought that was cool that Damontre, took time out to come on the platform. Even though I would have liked to hear him say he was gonna stay, but I know it was against what his what his agent wanted him to say, bro. You know what I mean?
Well, and the thing is that he has no control over. We can't do is we can't ask a guy, hey, if you could play for any team in the NFL, who would it be, or would you come back for the Niners? Or
exactly.
He can't, because then he's isolating the other 31 opportunities. So
exactly.
And
yeah, man,
Dre, by the way, people are in the chat and surprised that you speak and not yell. They're like, "Wow, Dre is laid back." Like they're surprised already, bro.
Bro, the thing is, bro, I'm passionate. I'm passionate and I'm serious about Niner football. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, bro, I communicate with you guys more than I communicate with some of my own family members. That's how passionate I am about the Niners, bro. Like I'm literally with y'all day in, day out, whether it's Twitter or on the show. You know what I mean? You know, I
I
could
know.
be at
I think you got my tweet notifications set on alert
I do,
because
bro. I
you be
do.
like the first one to like my shit all the
I,
time.
I do, bro, because I want to show out that's how I support the faithful, bro. If you're a friend of mine's on Twitter, I don't care what you post, bro. I'm gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? Because if I like it, then more people gonna see it. You know what I mean? And I think that everybody should do that. We should support each other. You know what I'm saying? Because it just makes
Yeah,
the brand
definitely.
bigger. You know what I mean? But man, Nick did something last night, and he made me a believer in C.J. Henderson. Um, not drafting him at 13.
Okay.
No,
Drafting him at 13. You know what I mean? Because they're Henry Ruggs he's in the same field as Barry Sanders, and there's only a few guys who have scored 20 plus touchdowns on 102 touches or less, and that's Henry Ruggs and Barry Sanders, bro. That's special type of guys. Um, he had 7 touchdowns receiving. He had 6 touchdowns rushing, and he had 5 touchdowns on punt returns and kick returns. When you have somebody who can run a 4-2, and you could use him on end arounds, like on jet sweeps, like Deebo, when he can snag balls across the middle with his hands, not his body, and go yard. It just opens up a different dynamic for this offense, bro. I love Jerry Jeudy. Don't get me wrong. I love the route running and all of that, but we have some good route runners. Trent Taylor's a damn good route runner. Kendrick Bourne is a damn good route runner.
Wait,
Deebo
hold on. Go back to that Trent Taylor thing again. No, I'm just messing around.
Trent Taylor is a bro. I gotta be real. Trent is a damn good Dante. If we don't trade him to the Eagles for Rasul Douglas, Dante is a pristine route runner, bro. Like we have route runners on the team. I want that guy who's going to open up the middle of the field. Ruggs does that. Who do you think's going to eat? Kendrick is going to eat. Oh, don't even talk about George. They're going to have to pick they're going to have to pick their poison with George Kittle. What are you going to do when you have that type of speed? Just imagine having both of those guys, Deebo and Henry Ruggs, going in motion at the same time, and you don't know if it's going to be a jet sweep or if it's going to be a pitch.
And if Hurd comes back, he does what
Oh
Deebo does too. Come on, bro.
Oh my God.
Come on, bro. Like the whole dynamic of the offense changes if you add Ruggs and you get Hurd back healthy. The entire people saying they want to see Shanahan's playbook open up. Like
Exactly.
you're going to see stuff that you're going to be like, wow, what?
Exactly. Okay. And just one more thing. All right. So Kendrick, he has a foundation here in Portland where it's for mentally challenged because he has a family member that was mentally challenged, and that's one of the things he wanted to do.
Autistic,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So my bad. Yeah, autistic, my bad. So there were some things that was talked about there, and my uncle called me. Jalen Hurd's back. Him sitting out the season was more of a precaution because when we got Emmanuel Sanders, the offense started clicking. It started clicking. And so they didn't want to rush him back. And they took every precaution that they possibly could. Jalen is going to be fine, fellas. And I'm telling you this not just because of what I know, it's because what was passed down when I had some talks with my uncle who actually went to his gathering for for his foundation. Because when it happened, we were in Seaside, Oregon, so I didn't get to go. So I talked to my uncle and he talked, he told me a few things. Jalen Hurd is going to be fine, you guys. Trent Taylor, he had that surgery, and what it was his body wasn't reacting to the metal that was in his body. So they switched it up with 3 different screws, and then they made a screw out of some type of fiber that his body wouldn't react to allergically. So, Taylor's going to be. I think, bro. I think we're gonna be fine, bro. I think that we and I have to say it too. I think I overreacted to us losing Emmanuel Sanders. We have to realize, bro, we have 2 guys who are chain movers and who are game changers that weren't even on the field last year, bro. We ain't giving Emmanuel Sanders $8 million, bro. We can't do that. I mean, I love E-Man, and at the same time, he's a fraud. When It's not about the money. I've made my money. I want to win championships. And the first thing he says on ESPN is, "Oh, I had to do what was best for my family, and I'm 33. I have to take the most money that I can." So I thought it wasn't about the money, man. He's a fraud, bro. He's a fraud. I'm sorry. I have to be real. If any of the Niners is watching in the chat, Dre Berry said it. I said it. I'm San Fran.
It makes him look like that because of his earlier statements in the year. Like if he would have never said the statements earlier in the year, because Mike, remember I was like, I think Emmanuel Sanders will come back for what we gave up because he's not looking for money. He's looking for that locker room.
Right.
He literally said that. So he puts that on himself.
Oh, Mike didn't. But I don't. But the thing is, Mike, bro, you have to admit that when he did that interview on the podium after an NFC Championship game, he was convincing when he said it's not about the money, and that's why I say he's a fraud, bro. Because a month and a half ago, what's the first thing he did? He took a picture in front of a Bentley and a private jet and said, "Where I'm off to next." I said, "Oh man, this dude about the money, man. He about the money."
I made my stance very clear, and I was selective with my words. I said, with what we gave up, you would hope that they bring him back. And then since free agency started, I said, I don't think the team should bring him back. Because listen,
no. I was saying about when we had the conversation when he first came here, and we were like, well,
look at
he's only on a 1-year deal. I'm like, well, you would think that he would come back because he said that he's looking for that locker room, to win championships, a good locker room that he fit in. It wasn't about money. He's already made his money. Exactly. So him making that comment is where people are getting off saying, it's such and such. Before we keep going, let me pop Chris in here because I didn't want to cut you off, Dre, when you were talking, and I see Chris is in here. So, Chris, what's going on, man?
Wait. Hold on, Chris. We're gonna get you in, Chris, but 1 second. I want to say something about what Dre said about we have 2 chain movers that didn't play, right? You guys got to remember when the Niners traded for Emmanuel Sanders. This is really important. It's not about who they traded for and what they gave up for him. It's when. Because 2 of our guys that they were hoping to get this season weren't able to come back. You got to remember that they had Trent Taylor pegged as one of the guys they wanted to come back, and Hurd also. They wanted those guys to come back. They let them make the 53. And then they put them on IR so that way they can designate them to return if it applied. It wasn't a tag. It wasn't something that they had to say right away. But if they were healthy enough to come back, then we'll bring them back. You get what I'm saying? When they realized, damn, these guys can't come back, it was like, what, week 6 or 7 or something like that. They were like, hey, we got to get somebody then because those guys aren't available anymore. And then, boom, that's when Emmanuel Sanders came into the picture. So we got to keep that in mind. It's not about who you get. It's about when you get those guys. But when Shanahan realized that there was a dynamic that was missing, he went out to go get those guys, the people with the good feet and things like that. So that's what it became about. So I wasn't trying to cut you off, Chris, or anything like that.
No. That was good information right there. I've been all team Jerry Judy until I heard my boy Dre right here speaking. I'm like, Hurd is waiting back there in the rings, and Trent Taylor is ready to go. So and those are Shanahan pick guys. So those are his guys.
And when you hear people talk about Judy, what do they say? He's an excellent route runner, right? That's everything that people are going to say already about Trent Taylor. That's why I think that Shanahan. I'm hoping. Shouldn't say I think. I'm hoping that he's looking for a different dynamic, and you get that different dynamic.
Yeah, man. Yeah, most definitely. Because it's just like this, bro. Deebo, he was a beast across the middle, right? But what would happen when either Deebo or Kendrick would catch passes across the middle? Eventually, you know that they were going to get caught. When you have the dynamic of somebody like Henry Ruggs going across the middle, bro, he touches the ball, he's not going to get touched. It's a wrap. With that type of dynamic, it changes up what we're going to do schematically. And I think that's what Kyle Shanahan is looking for. I think Kyle Shanahan is looking for somebody that's going to change the dynamic of the offense schematically to where you cannot just protect the middle. I mean, look at what Kansas City did. I mean, basically, the Vikings tried to do the same thing, right? They tried to do the same thing. It just didn't work because our running game killed them. The Chiefs, they tried to do the same thing, but we stopped running the ball, right? They played with their safety so close up, bro, and it gave them an advantage as far as what we wanted to do. We want to spread guys out and make the middle of the zone wide open. And without that speed, we just couldn't do that. And I think that's what Kyle is looking for. Even if we get Henry Ruggs and he comes in and say he has 45 receptions for 700 yards, and Deebo has another 800, 900 yards, what you think George Kittle going to do? George going to have another 1,300 to 44-yard season.
Dre, not to cut you guys off, but you got to think about it too, because we were talking about before the season started last year, before the Super Bowl run, we were talking about how many guys do you think that, Mike was talking about how it's going to be hard for George Kittle to hit 1,000 yards again, right? Because of the offensive weapons that we had. And in this offense will spread the ball type offense. They don't physically pan down on one receiver or things like that. Marquise Goodwin, when he almost had 1,000 yards, he was like the only guy that was really left. If you look at our numbers now between Deebo, Kendrick Bourne, even Marquise for when he was playing, Dante Pettis when he was playing, all those guys, you got Bourne with 600 yards this year, 534 or whatever it was. I don't remember exactly. And then you had Deebo, with 400 yards receiving or 600 yards, whatever it was.
I think Deebo had 802 yards receiving, 280 rushing, 3 touchdowns receiving, and 3 touchdowns rushing. He had a total of 6.
So when you add guys, I'm going to be interested. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts on this, because I've come a long way on Kendrick Bourne. But when you look at Kendrick Bourne, right, he played so much out of the slot last year. When Trent Taylor comes back, how's that going to work? Is he going to move and play more on the outside if we bring in another receiver? Because you're only got 3 receiver sets usually, right?
Yeah.
So
I think the thing with KB is when you make the most of 30 receptions, like when you have 27 out of your 30 receptions for first downs and touchdowns, you don't really need to move him. He's still going to get the same amount of targets.
Right. That's what I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, those two, Kendrick Bourne did this year in this offense what we were missing with Trent Taylor, moving the sticks with those short chains, the third downs, and things like that. So now Trent Taylor is coming back healthy, who was having an outrageous camp last year. From all the reports, he was the best receiver on the team.
Yeah, JD even said that. He said he was having the best camp.
Right, that he was having the best camp, and then obviously got injured with that surgery to his foot. Yeah. So like we're talking about all this receiver talk, right? And drafting at 13 because we need this guy. But like you just came on the show earlier and said, we're gonna get a Hurd back, we're gonna get a Trent Taylor back, right? And these are guys that Hurd, obviously, we don't know what he is. Taylor, we know a little bit about because of his one season. He's a chain mover. He's a 10-yard, 10 and out guy, or 8 and out, 15 and out, whatever. Yeah. Just move those chains. Excellent route runner. KB's an excellent route runner. He moves the chains and is a threat in the red zone. Then you're getting Jalen Hurd back. Is he going to be utilized as a tight end, a running back, and a receiver? Right? Those are 3 things that he can do. The same thing with Deebo, receiver. We've seen him line up in the backfield. We've seen him take a lot of, rushing yards. And then if Dante Pettis doesn't get traded, what is he going to be here? If Marquise Goodwin doesn't get cut or traded, what's he going to be here? So we're all thinking like Trent Taylor and Jalen Hurd aren't coming back. But if they do come back and we keep what we have right now, we have Kendrick Bourne, Deebo Samuel, Marquise Goodwin, Trent Taylor, Jalen Hurd, and Dante Pettis. That's 6 receivers right now already still on the roster.
And we got to put some respect on Kelvin Benjamin's name, bro. Kelvin.
No. Travis.
Travis. My bad. Yeah, Travis. Hey, bro.
Did you say Richie James?
I didn't even say Richie James. So that's
to be honest, I think Richie, Pettis, and Goodwin somehow find their way off the squad this year. I really do think that to add depth and somebody who's a veteran who played with the Super Bowl winning team and Rasul Douglas, I think they make that trade happen. I think Goodwin, he will be traded during the draft to somebody like the Patriots, who's looking for that top end speed, who doesn't necessarily have the capital, who needs to fill other positions. They lost a starting linebacker. They lost a starting linebacker. They lost a defensive tackle. They lost an offensive lineman. They lost some guys, so they're not necessarily going to go after a receiver. I think Marquise gets traded to a team like that, and I think Richie is just going to be a practice squad guy because another thing about Trent Taylor or Henry Ruggs, like those are your kick returner and punt returners right there. We forget, bro. Trent Taylor is a beast returning kicks.
Man,
He's
excellent.
not running out of bounds. He's gonna try to run you over. Trent is a beast.
I don't think Richie is eligible for practice squad anymore, though.
He's not.
He's been active for too many games.
I think he might be a casualty, bro. And I love Richie. He had 6 receptions, and out of those 6 receptions, he averaged 27.5 yards a catch. He had 165 yards and off of 6 receptions and a touchdown. But he does not grasp this offense. There's no reason. There's something that there's a disconnect right there. Like he doesn't grasp the offense. That's the only thing I can think about it. He's not a bad locker room guy. So
Chris,
that's the only thing.
Chris, you in the garage?
Yeah.
I know why you out there. Okay, so you're not smoking a cigar. Okay, I know what's going on.
Okay. If you hear me coughing, it's not the coronavirus.
Hey, I ain't mad at you, bro. This is crazy time, bro. We got to do something, to ease what's going on, bro. So I'm definitely ain't mad at you.
Man, y'all have a good night. I gotta take it in for now. I gotta check on these kids.
All right, bro, for sure.
Hey, Chris, man,
Yeah,
for sure. All right, so how do y'all feel about this offseason? Because I've been seeing a lot of fans like kind of complaining, and I had to explain to one guy, you got to look at the Patriots. Every year they bring in 4 to 5 guys that you've never heard of, right? That have had like 1 or 2 good seasons. And then they come and they play and they go to a Super Bowl, and those same guys get big contracts and they go to different teams. And it's because Belichick is bringing in guys who fit what he's doing. And that's what I see Kyle Shanahan doing. And I'm trying to explain that to most of the Niner fans, and some of them just don't get it, bro. It's not about names. It's about who's going to come in and be game ready and know what they're doing in their system.
We did a show right before the Damontre Moore show, where I believe it was the one right before that, where we analyzed the offseason. We gave it grades. And all of us had it in the A range. It was either A-, A or A+ type of thing, because a lot of people have to realize that the Niners did something that most Super Bowl teams don't do. They brought back 90% of their roster from the previous season. Yeah, and then that's not counting what's going to happen in the draft. So the draft is going to be looking for upgrades at positions that you think are weak, and you want to bring back your core. They did more than bring back the core. They brought back everybody except 3 people.
20 of 22 starters. Look at the Chiefs, bro. The Chiefs lost 7 starters. Hell, they just lost Reggie Ragland yesterday. They lost 7 starters, and they have $555,000 in cap space.
Wait, what happened with Reggie Ragland?
He went with Elijah Lee to the Lions? Yeah, him and Elijah Lee signed yesterday during the same time.
Wow, Reggie Ragland was my.
They lost Ragland. They lost Brashard Breeland. They lost hella guys, bro. They lost a starting left tackle. They lost a lot of guys, bro. So you have to put it into perspective. We started on the offseason with $11 million in cap. Ended up with $22 million in cap. Signed 6 free agents. Kept 20 of 22 starters. That's not easy to do, and we still ended up with more cap space than we did when the season ended.
19.
We really only lost 1 starter due to our own opinion, like due to our own like somebody walking away, which was Emmanuel Sanders. We gave up
Right.
DeForest Buckner.
Yeah,
It wasn't
right.
like we decided to give up.
Y'all are
DeForest
forgetting
Buckner.
about Mike Person, who was a starter also. He's the other guy.
But you got to look at Brunskill was the 13th highest, was the out of all offensive guards, he was ranked 13th in the NFL, bro. I don't count Pierce.
Yeah, I don't count Person as a starter because he was injured and didn't play like the rest of like that second half of the year, pretty much. Like the last
a bad boy, bro. He's a bad boy. We upgraded at right guard, bro. We upgraded.
Didn't we have him on the show? Brunskill?
No, I think you're thinking about Magnuson.
Oh,
Eric
Magnuson. Yeah, it was Eric Magnuson. Yeah.
I
don't think we had Brunt. What offensive line? We definitely had. We had
Magnuson. Yeah, we had Magnuson, Magnuson, Trent Brown.
Yeah. Trent Brown. Yeah.
Did we have Brunskill on?
It was just Magnuson. Yeah.
Okay.
I was just thinking because of the beard, and that was Magnuson we had on for the beard. You were talking about the beard king.
Yeah.
I bet his didn't run down to his chest.
All right, Nick. All right.
Yeah, bro. So, yeah, I'm excited to for at least the draft to happen. To see what direction we're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I really hope that Ruggs is that added dynamic that we need. We trade that 31st for, because the 31st is worth like 600 points. So you can get a top second and a mid third for that.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, he's right. 31 to 600 points.
Yeah, it's worth 600. So
600 picks. So 13 is worth 1150.
Yeah, I think it's just too. That pick is like cherry for what we're trying to get, bro. I really hope we don't trade that 13.
Have you guys watched any film on CD Lamb?
I watched a little bit.
Fox played, even though I live in the Northwest, Fox played. I seen Oklahoma against Bama. I seen them against LSU. I seen them against Auburn. I seen them against Baylor. I seen them against Oklahoma State. I seen Oklahoma more times than I seen the Oregon Ducks this year, and I live in the Northwest. I don't know how, but I seen them and a lot of clips in this year because they're always on Fox and CBS. I just don't think we're going to have a chance to get him.
Don't lick me.
Let me ask you this question, Dre. How surprised would you be if the Niners don't draft a receiver at 13?
I will be very surprised because everybody's talking about Kinlaw, and the thing about it is, all you're going to do is I love Derek Brown. I love Derek Brown from Auburn. He is a beast. But the thing with him or Kinlaw is, in a couple of years, the same thing that happened with DeForest Buckner is going to happen with that guy, and we're going to have to let somebody go, and I'll be damned if it's Nick Bosa. I'm sorry. I just don't want to repeat that, bro. I don't want to repeat that. Those guys gonna have to get paid, and those guys up the everybody talks about quarterbacks, but the other position that gets big money, man, is defensive end and defensive tackle, bro. They get big money, and we just ain't gonna be able to pay all of them. I would rather have the best wide receiver, and you know what I mean, and bring guys in that know our system. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be able to have a good rotation, because everybody's talking about Buckner, but with DJ Jones and with guys like Hyder that we just got, and Julian Taylor coming back, and Ronald Blair, and then I seen a lot of plays last year where D Ford, he mixed up and he went to D tackle, and we ran a lot of stunts. There's a lot of different things that you can do to mask what Buckner did. Buckner played very high. He got stood up a lot in the run game. A lot.
We've said that.
I'm not saying nothing about Buckner because people think I hate him. So I'm not touching
no,
him.
and
I gotta keep it real, bro.
I just said that before I said that because yes, while DeForest Buckner would get double teamed a lot, but when he did get singled, he didn't execute the way that he should have. And people used to like, oh, you're hating, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm just telling you, like, Mike, you and Scott were just having this conversation the other night, I believe, in the group chat about double team percentages.
Right, because they came out
Eric Armstead plays on the outside, but he was double teamed. How much? What was the percentage?
It was I don't remember so the chart that came out was how many times they were double teamed and then their success against the double team. And that's what the percentage was. Buckner had a success rate that was a little bit it was higher than was it higher than Eric Armstead's? It wasn't a big difference though. One of them was like 208 times they were double teamed. The other one was like 260 times they were double teamed. But your defensive tackle is going to see more double teams because they're on the inside of the line. That's natural for them to see more double teams. And so and the percentage was only a 5% difference, which I'm saying only 5, but that's a big, that's 10 play difference. It's a 10 play difference. Yeah. So, it's like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't want to feel like I don't want to sit here and be a hater on DeForest Buckner because I appreciate everything he brought to this franchise. And when I start talking about him, people thought I was crazy when I said he's not a top 10 defensive tackle. People hate when I say things like that, but I got to call it like I see it.
Yeah, and you got to look at this though. When you look at the fully guaranteed money between him and Armstead, it's not far off. Armstead got 40, DeForest Buckner got 44.
But here's the difference: we get an extra year out of Armstead. Buckner's deal was only for 4 years. Armstead was for 5.
You're getting $18 million a year, bro. You had 4 years of $18 million, bro. $3 million is the maker. Is the difference maker. Like you left us for that. You heard Jimmy Ward come out and say the Raiders offered me more. He got $1.5 million more, and he elected to stay. It just showed me Buckner didn't want to be a Niner.
No, but I'm not. No, I think they told him, "Look, Buckner, we're going to move on from you at some point, and we want to trade you." Like,
but
I do
only
think
because he didn't sign the contract. We offered him that contract. He got offered the $18 million a year for 4 years. They offered him that contract before the NFC Championship game, bro, and he wouldn't budge off of 21.
Which is crazy because that's only under Aaron Donald. He's not.
He's not that.
He's not close.
I'm sorry.
He's not close to Aaron Donald.
He's not that, bro. He's not, bro. I'm sorry. I appreciate what he did, but he's not Aaron Donald, bro.
Look at Tim Duncan's comment. Buck was top 5 and got paid top 2. He's not a top 5 DT. He's not. He's not, man.
Fletcher Cox. I mean, hey, man, it's just a lot of guys, man. Hey, I don't know, bro. $21 million a year is a lot to give DeForest Buckner, bro. I mean, wouldn't you think? Okay, so put it like this. I guarantee you the year that he had 12.5 sacks, he got double teamed more than he did this year.
He had to because we didn't have Buckner Ford. We didn't have Armstead eating like that. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying.
So why did he drop off 5 sacks? With Defoe, Armstead, who was already there, and Nick Bosa and Ronald Blair with that, and DJ Jones, that rotation, like, why would you drop off 5 sacks and then still? Now, if he would have had another season where he had 12.5 sacks, get that man $21 million. But he didn't. He dropped off 5 sacks. That's a lot of sacks.
Don't get me wrong. DeForest Buckner's in a top 10 defensive lineman, probably.
Top 10. Yes.
I'll say top 10, top 12. Right?
No, I'm not letting you do that. You said time out. You said defensive lineman. Please tell me you mean defensive tackles.
Defensive tackle, yeah.
I'll entertain that conversation, but not all defensive linemen, because that includes ends. No fucking way.
The DeForest Buckner on the edge would get murdered. He just does not have that. He doesn't have that quick first step. He's not that guy, and that's why I think we elected to go with Armstead. D Ford getting less snaps, no problem. Armstead can go out there on the edge and still be just as effective on the run game. It's not,
and that was the question, bro. Trey, what you brought up was the name that the thing was. What I was talking about this year was why did DeForest drop off with more help on the defensive line this year? And that's where I was like asking, because you have a Nick Bosa, you have an Eric Armstead, you have a D Ford, you have a DJ Jones, you got more help this year, and a lot of times Buckner was lined up on the same side as Bosa, who was getting chipped and double teamed as well.
Right.
Right, the same side as Bosa. And then when Armstead would come in, Bosa would go to the other side because D Ford would come out, and then Armstead would go next to Buckner at the other defensive tackle position next to DJ Jones, whoever it was there. But
Right.
all my question is why did he drop off with more help? And that was my question as to you. In the beginning of the season, we all said DeForest Buckner should eat this year.
I remember that show, bro. We had a it was a prediction show, and everybody predicted who would have the most sacks. I was one of the guys who said DeForest Buckner was going to eat. I'm not going to lie. I was arguing with Mike. I was arguing with Mike saying DeForest Buckner was going to have the most sacks.
Yeah, and there's no reason for us people to hate that we're analyzing that, but you have to look at the facts. And we weren't going to pay him $21 million a year next year. We have other guys that we have to sign. Our whole secondary is free agents next year, and George Kittle's up. Plus, if you decide to do something with CJ Beathard, he's up too, right? So, not saying that you have to do that, but I'm just saying all the free agents that we have next year, everybody in the secondary is up, right? Fred Warner is going to be due for another contract in not next year, but probably the next year after.
I think
right,
Fred
but they may extend him next year.
think Fred still has 2 more years. I think he has this year and the year. I think he has this year and next year. After next year, he'll be up because this is his 3rd year. He got that 5-year, so he got 2 more years. He still has his 4th year and the fifth year option. So my thing is this: we got
but he doesn't have a 5th-year option because he wasn't drafted in the 1st round.
Oh shit! Okay, so he only got 1 more year. So I know next year we have Jaquaski, we have Juice, we have Kittle, and
Juice just signed an extension, didn't he?
No, we picked up his option on this last year.
That's right. You're right.
Got that $7 million. So we got Kittle, we got Juice, we got Kwaski, and the most important is K'Wan Williams, bro.
K'Wan Williams.
Williams is the best nickel corner in the league, and he got robbed for first team All Pro and Pro Bowl this year. A lot of guys made it off their name. K'Wan Williams is the best nickel corner in this league, bro.
You ain't telling nothing,
bro. So those are 4, but I'm not worried about it because next year we got $60 million plus the new CBA adds 10. That's $70 million, and then the year after that we projected to have 80. You got to add another 10 on that for the new CBA. That's $90 million. We're good.
Let me eat some crow here. Let me eat some crow here. I was the guy that said I wanted to move Jimmy Ward back to nickel because I was concerned.
I was fighting you.
Right, because I said I was concerned about K'Wan.
K'Wan
he shut me up,
guy.
Bro. He put the whole. I wear size 13. My whole foot is in my mouth. That boy is nice, and he's not just nice at nickel. He is excellent in run support. That boy played like he plays like he's 6'3". He played like he's 6'3", and he's fearless, bro.
Yo, Dre's love for Kendrick Bourne is my love for K'Wan. Always has been.
Hey, bro, I've been a KV advocate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you come from a small high school in Portland, bro, and you go to a small university in Eastern Washington, and you're an undrafted free agent, and you lead the team in touchdown receptions 2 years in a row, and it's not easy to do, bro. And it's not like he gets 75 targets. That ain't easy to do, bro. And it's because he's from Portland, and I'm currently here. I've been here for a while, and our family and his family know each other. There is a connection there, but at the same time, when you know the work that he put in to get to where he's at, I think I respect it a little bit more than the average fan.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's kind of like Mike and Dante Johnson. Like, he's from the area. You know what I'm saying? You know who he is. You know who he was before he went to college and all of that stuff. Like, when you see a guy go from there to where they at now, bro, you have a little bit more respect and love for him.
Absolutely. It's like how I felt. There was a guy that we signed from Trenton, New Jersey, which is where I lived out there for 12 years. Damn, what was his name? Oh, my God. What was the defensive lineman name from Trenton? He was from Trenton, New Jersey. And but it's speaking to the point where once you know a little bit more about these people on a personal level, you start to pull for them more. It's my blind support for Jersey guys and stuff like that.
bro.
That's why I like Minka Fitzpatrick. Like it's little stuff like that that makes you pull for these guys just a little bit more. I cannot. What the hell is it? It's right there at the tip because I remember when the Niners signed him. He wasn't a draft. He wasn't drafted. We signed him in the offseason. Like he was an undrafted free agent maybe. And my cousin sent me a message. He was like, "Yo, I know you cover the Niners. That's my boy. We went to high school together. If you want, I could try to get him on your show." And I was like, "No, don't. I don't want you to ruin no relationship that you have with him and nothing like that." Damn, what the hell was his name? This is gonna bug me, man. I
don't remember. I don't remember who it is. I know who you're talking about. And I can't remember.
Damn, this is gonna bug me, man. All right, I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna pull up the internet though. I'm gonna find out who he was.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, bro. So another subject. Oh, okay. Emmanuel Sanders. All right. So I wanted to put this into perspective with the Niner faithful. So E-Man had 2 picks and he had 8 PBUs. There's an All-Pro who just got traded who had 2 picks and 13 PBUs and started 14 games. Emmanuel only started 9. And he's making $14 million, and E-Man is making $900,000. You know who I'm talking about?
Wait, say that again. I wasn't looking. I'm sorry.
All right, so there's a All-Pro Pro Bowler who was just traded, who makes $14 million a year. He started 14 games last year. He was injured for 2. He had 2 picks and 13 PBUs. Emmanuel Mosley started 9 games, had 2 picks and 8 PBUs. One makes $14 million. The other one makes $900,000. Darius Slay. Darius Slay makes $14 million and had 2 picks and 13 PBUs.
Wow.
Put it in perspective. Mosley, he had 2 picks, 8 PBUs, and he also had 1 in the playoffs. Everybody's talking about we need a cornerback. Emmanuel Mosley earned the right to start on this team. He's a damn good cornerback.
I think. Well, no, I'm not. I'm gonna save my take for later because nobody's gonna like what I was about to say. I'm not gonna do that on the show.
All right.
I just wanted to
put it in perspective because everybody's saying we need cornerback so bad, but I still trust Okello because I've seen what he can do when he's healthy. It's bro. Look, I think it takes like 4 to 5 years to be a pro and to fight through injury and come back the same you were before you had the injury. That takes some time.
My thing with Okello is my biggest thing. The reason why I hold on to so much hope for this young man is because he does everything right up until the point of the catch. Everything else he does is stellar. It is absolutely phenomenal up until the point of catch, and he just loses either the ball or he loses the receiver right at the very end, man. Okello is never out of place. He's not one of these guys that you just see like completely lost all the time. Like,
nope, he's right there, and his point of contact is always out of whack. That's all it is, bro.
And that's coachable. That's my thing. That's why I hold out so much hope for him because that is coachable. You can fix that issue. If this guy was always just way out of place, like I heard somebody say, "Oh, the Niners should look at Prince Amukamara." No, the hell they shouldn't.
No. I don't think they said that. That was Wayne. He mentioned his name, and we both like this. Like he was talking about free agents.
I think Prince Amukamara is like 5'9", 5'10". I'm sorry, bro.
I don't care if he was 6'4". No, he is not good. Like when we played the Saints, who were we targeting? Like, come on, man. Like, no, absolutely not. So Niner got stung. He found, I don't know how he found a bee out here or a wasp, but he got stung. He over here going.
Yeah, bro. But, that was so. Yeah, I just wanted to put that into perspective, man. About everybody saying that, we need a cornerback. I think that we need a more. I think we're more in need of a dynamic playmaker with speed at the wide receiver position, more than we are for a playmaker at cornerback. We could always get a cornerback in the later round because I know we're going to trade that 31st pick.
I don't think we're going to trade the 31st.
Bro, I guarantee you.
I think we're going to trade the 13th to like the 20 range.
If Henry Ruggs is available, or if Jerry Jeudy is available, Kyle Shanahan is not going to trade that pick, bro. I got $100 bet on it. One of my partners, Russo, he bet me $100 that we were going to draft Ken Law over a wide receiver. That's how confident I am that we're.
if we stand pat at 13, we picking wide receiver. Yes. Niner, no.
Yes,
bro. It's
yes. I don't think you want to miss out on one of the top 3 receivers to trade down to 13th when you can still get a high second, which is basically an extension of the 31st, and you can get a third for the 31st. I just don't think that's going to happen, bro. It's just too valuable. If this was a year where wide receivers wasn't this deep, I mean, there's 27 guys in the draft that are rated first to third round picks.
Right. So that's why I'm saying I just think that Kyle Shanahan, he likes these guys that aren't, I mean, I can't say that technically because last year we had the second pick and we took a defensive lineman in Bosa, which was a big need.
Player in the draft. Yeah, we took the best player in the draft.
Big need, but
exactly.
As for with this, that's what scares me about trading this pick is because the draft is so deep. There's so many guys that Kyle Shanahan will like that are out there this year in this draft, and if you can get 3 picks back for trading down 4 spots or 5 spots, they might do it.
But how many?
The only thing that will stop them from doing it is money.
Yeah, and how many of those guys are actually going to make the team? And then put it into perspective like this: when has Kyle Shanahan actually had the luxury to say we're set on defense? I'm going to go get the best damn wide receiver in the draft.
Not
at
ever.
The 13th pick.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
We just haven't had that luxury. We had to shore up our linebackers. We had to shore up our offensive linemen. We had to shore up our defensive line. I think this is the year where John is like, you know what, Kyle, have at it. Have at it.
Side note, not to rewind too far, but I figured out who the Trenton, New Jersey guy was. Jason Damontreuil.
Oh, that's it. Damontreuil.
That's who it was.
Yeah,
that
Damontreuil.
was the guy. Yeah. So I'm sorry, not to go too far back.
One of my friend's sons is actually in the draft this year, the linebacker for Temple, Sean Bradley. So we'll see where he goes. Okay. He went to my high school in Mount Holly in New Jersey. So we'll see where he goes. But
yeah,
he actually had a decent senior and junior year. So we'll see.
Man.
Yeah, man. And it's little stuff like that keeps you pulling for people. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna have a guy that was part of Nothing But Niners, Nick Peck. He's gonna be in the draft soon too. He's he's got another 2 or 3 years before, and then he'll be in the draft.
3 years. He just I think this was his freshman year.
Yeah, right. It ain't easy. It ain't easy, bro. I mean, you kind of live through the people who have done what you always aspire to do, but just it's not easy to be a pro athlete, bro.
Absolutely,
it's just not easy, bro. So I admire that shit.
Dre, you pointed out something. I never even thought about that. How many times Shanahan had to say, I don't have to worry about the defense? That's a hell of a thought. Like that whole, I never even thought about it like that. Never thought about it like that. Yeah, his time with Houston. I mean, he was just he wasn't even a coordinator really, but and then you think about the Browns years, they needed help on defense.
Is that a true statement? I mean, is that really a true statement? Because our whole secondary, other than Jimmy Ward, is free agents next year.
No, next year, but we have 2 first-round picks. That's the point. And so, what you have to try to assess is what's the bigger need, and what can you replace? What can you replace at a certain level later? So all right, I'll flip it. We were sitting here just talking about Emmanuel Mosley. Where was he drafted?
He wasn't.
Okay. He was under the guy.
All right. So where was Akello Witherspoon drafted? We're talking about his potential. Where was he drafted? Third round, right? Okay. Yeah. Now, how many times are you going to get a chance to be in this position and be able to get a top wide receiver, and you can still get a first round or a second round corner if you decide to trade back. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, like, this is the year. If there's ever a year for Shanahan to go out and get his wide receiver,
this will be the highest in the draft that will be for the next 4 to 5 years.
Yep, absolutely.
This will be the highest unless
Without
we
trading
do a
up?
blockbuster trade with somebody who's up for a contract. Like this will be the highest that like we have to, bro. We
Yeah.
have this is an opportunity that just imagine any other team who's been to the Super Bowl, do you know how much they would die for to have 20 of 22 starters back and to have a
two
top
first-round
13,
picks.
2 first? Has that ever been done?
Come on, bro. Are you kidding me? Most
Like,
of the teams that get to
I'm
the
gonna
Super
do some research, bro. I'm gonna do some research and see if that's ever been done. Where a team goes to the Super Bowl, they bring back 20 or 22 starters, and they get 2 first-round draft picks, and one is in the top 15.
Right.
I don't know if that's ever been done, bro. Prague is a genius. I would give him like $1 million bonus. Hey, I would give him like
I think you got to not even just give it to Prague. I think you got to give it to, the coaches too, because of drafting. General manager and Peters and John Lynch, because they literally built this team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From when they came. So
yeah.
Hey, for the people laughing at me in the chat about my cigar on this little stick here.
You just won't let that thing go, bro.
No, but that's what this is for. It's for when your finger. All right, so look at how much I have left. My fingers are too big to hold it and pull on it. My lips and my fingers are too big.
There's not even that much left.
You're the only man I've ever seen to have roach clips for a cigar, bro.
Right. Bro, yeah, keep relighting it. Like, let that shit go, bro. It's done.
Bro.
You're gonna burn the shit out of his lip. Look, his lip is like almost to where the ash is.
Hey, bro, about to hit the mustache in a second, bro.
Bro, then that shit's really gonna look like a chest hair. It's just gonna be all frayed.
Yeah. But yeah, man, bro, I fucking every time I get a chance to come on here, bro, it's a pleasure, bro. It's a pleasure. You know
we appreciate you hopping on with us too, man. It's good. It's a good look, man.
I like looking at your big head, bro. No, I'm just messing around.
You should pause.
I love Dre, man.
Yeah,
Dre's my dude.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. This is what it's all about, bro. We all locked down on quarantine and shit, man. It give me. It ain't nothing better than waking up and being with my family every day and making sure that they, everybody's safe and secure. But this is just one of the things I get to look forward to, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't really shit else. You know what I mean? Like, wake up, cook breakfast, make sure my family's straight. You know what I'm saying? And look forward to sports, bro. This is what I look forward to, man.
Yeah, we ain't got no sports now. I was watching like old games or replays on the TV the other night, hockey and stuff, just because.
Man, it's crazy right now, bro.
Do you think the season starts on time this year?
I pray it does. I pray it does.
I can't see this lasting until freaking September, man.
I pray.
No, but I'm not saying that it will last into September. But you got to remember, they got to get training camp. They got to get all those hours and stuff in.
Well, the teams can
wrench into the rookies that's coming in for every team. This is going to throw a monkey wrench in the game because that Kyle Shanahan playbook and even our defensive scheme is so perplexed. I really hope that the guys that we have in mind, I hope that they at least like emailed them like a comprehension of the playbook so they can already be studying, bro. Just in case we get to draft them.
Shanahan made an interesting comment in the past couple of weeks where he said, you never want to draft a guy that you haven't met. He says film is one thing, but you get to know people when you talk to them face to face. He said that's why we take advantage of, he was talking about when they did the
Senior Bowl.
The Senior Bowl. He's talking about, the face-to-face meetings and all that stuff. He goes, yeah, it happens sometimes where we draft a guy that we never met with. He goes, but it's rare. He goes, these are you want to Nick vanishing over there, man. This guy is drinking invisible juice.
Bro. That green screen is crazy, bro.
But he's talking about how, it's important to meet with these guys before, and a lot of these meetings didn't get to happen, and they're not going to get to happen by the time the draft comes. So teams are going to be on overdrive, or if by some chance this ban is lifted by the time the draft comes, it's only going to be a week or two before. So people are going to be left with having to It's not going to be the coaches and the GM meeting with them. They're going to rely on their scouts to go and meet with them. They're going to have to disperse all hands on deck, go out there and meet with this guy. And, these are the questions we want you to ask type of thing, so it's going to be recorded sessions and things. The NFL is facing a challenge right now. And it's not just the NFL. It's all over the place. People trying to hire people for their jobs when they open back up, it's going to be, did Nick just buy a house? What is happening over there, bro?
Man, it's just switching up like crazy, bro. He went from a Niner helmet to Kelvin Benjamin. Now he in a mini mansion or some shit. What's going on, bro?
Dre really want Kelvin Benjamin on this team, bro.
He does.
Travis Benjamin, my bad. Hey, I like Travis Benjamin, bro. I like him.
Weird. Any pictures of Dre?
Hold on.
Find some.
You think Travis Benjamin makes the 53 or 50, 55?
I do. I remember watching the Chargers, not last year, but the year before last year, when they were in the playoffs, and a lot of people were picking them to beat the Patriots. And Benjamin had a 2-touchdown game, and Keenan Allen was non-existent. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, but he had an injury he coming off of.
Yeah, a quad is, it's. I mean, we see what happened with D4, bro. Quads are no joke. Quads are no joke, and just to be a wide receiver and running with that thing, I think he'll come in ready this year, bro. I do believe. I think he'll add something to this team, bro. I really do.
We'll see, man. I like it, man. I really do. I like it, man. But
all right, let me ask Trey this question before we get out of here.
All right.
So you're at 13, and all three of those receivers are off the board. Where are you going?
They're off the board?
All of them are off the board.
If all three of those receivers are off the board, that means I am going to – damn it, Nick. Okay.
There's only one right answer.
I'm gonna draft Derek Brown, and I'm gonna and on the third year of his contract, Armstead is gonna be gone. That's just me. Bro. I love C.J. Henderson, but I just think that if you have somebody like Derek Brown, who's a generational talent, he will be like the next Aaron Donald, I believe. He's unblockable, bro. He's unblockable. Now, if we don't go that way, that's a hard question to answer, bro. That's a really tough one to answer. Okay, forget it, man. If those three receivers aren't there, trade back.
That's the answer. That's the answer right there.
And trade back and draft Christian Fulton. Because I got him a little bit higher than C.J. Henderson. He played in the SEC. He's a beast when it comes to bump and run. Then get T. Higgins. Because with 1,150 points, we can get a first, 2 seconds, and a third. Or we can get a first, a second, a third, and a mid-fourth. So I would just go ahead and get, trade back, get Christian Fulton, get T. Higgins, get a good offensive lineman, you know what I mean? Maybe Cesar Ruiz, somebody falls, and that's what I would do, bro. You know what I mean? I'm really hoping that the Jets realize that they have a young quarterback. They just got Brashad Perriman. I'm really hoping that they're smart and they get an offensive lineman, but I don't think that they will. I think they will be dumb and get a wide receiver. But also, there's another thing that could happen. We have so many ties to the Browns. I could see us trading our 13th for the 10th and our 31st for the 41st and getting the guy that we want at receiver. That,
I was going to say, because the Jets and the Raiders are probably going to take receiver. The Jets could possibly take a receiver, and the Raiders are definitely probably going to take a receiver.
Raiders definitely going to take a receiver.
The Jets have more than one first-round pick?
No. I'm saying, but they're above us.
No, I know that, but I'm asking, do they have multiple firsts?
No.
No, just they
only
just have
one.
the what do they have? The ninth?
The Jets are at 10. No, the Jets are at 11. The Raiders are at 12, and we're at 13.
So here's the question: if Judy and Ruggs are off, are you taking Lamb at 13?
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Mike, what are you doing?
Because
I know, Mike, you're not a big Lamb fan, so I'm asking you, what are you doing?
12 guys, but that motherfucker, bruh, I'm taking CD. Kyle will have a field day. That's like having a faster Jalen Hurd with better ball skills. Because he you wouldn't take CD Lamb, bro.
I gotta watch more film before I answer that question on Lamb.
Oh, bro, he is single-handed. Hey, bro,
You think he's the first guy off the board?
He's CD Lamb is the first wide receiver off the board, bro.
No way.
He's the first one off the board.
No way.
Yes.
Because
I think he's the first one off the board.
Look at the teams that are picking ahead of us, right? They aren't looking for a specialist. They're looking for a consistent wide receiver. They're not looking for the. All right, let me ask
Raiders.
you. The Raiders, who's their quarterback right now? They're getting rid of Carr. They got
No, they said Carr is still their starter, but they're bringing Mariota in to compete. That's what the story is, at least.
Yeah, Mariota.
That's what the story is. They said they're just bringing Carr into. They're just bringing Mariota in to compete, and they said when they watched 2 years of game film of Brady, they were out on him, and I understand why. So hey.
All right.
I really think that the Raiders are going to get CD. You know what I mean? I at this point, bro, I just want one of the top 3 guys. But my preference is Ruggs, bro. My preference is Ruggs, man. If you getting 20 plus touchdowns on 102 touches, man, in the SEC with pro ready guys week in and week out, that ain't easy to do, bro.
Yeah. I think
that ain't easy to do.
Hold on, let's go through these right here. So obviously 1, 2 are going to take Young and probably Burrow. So then the Lions.
Burrow. Jordan Love is supposed to be top 10 also.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so here's the draft order. So the Lions pick 3rd. What do you think they're taking?
Lions. I think the Lions are. That's tough.
They can literally take a receiver.
I would say interior defensive line or offensive line. That's just me. Hold on. I'm not leaving. Hold on. Let me look at something real quick. Let me see what their draft need is. Okay, here we go. So the Lions are. Oh wow, they're projected to take edge. They have Burrow going to the Bengals. Tua Tagovailoa going to the Redskins for quarterback. Bro, they have the Lions getting Chase Young, bro.
That's stupid, though. Yeah, the Redskins definitely have to go Chase Young.
Yeah, and well, not really. They got a stacked defensive line. We seen that when we played them. They might be trying to get a quarterback, bro. Then they got Justin Herbert going to the Dolphins.
Yeah, but they just traded for Kyle Allen, and they have Dwayne Haskins.
Hey, bro, I'm just saying. Tristan Wirth going to the Giants.
Bro, if Chase Young slides to 3, that's retarded.
What's the draft order right now? That's
number 1 team? All right, so
Bengals.
we got
Bengals number 1.
Bengals.
All right, so that's Burrow. Hold on, wait. So number 1, Bengals getting Burrow. Then the Redskins, that's Young.
And then we got the Lions. They want an edge guy.
or Derek Brown,
Yeah, okay. Then we got the Dolphins, Justin Herbert. That makes sense.
or an offensive tackle like Becton.
Okay. Then we have the Giants offensive tackle, Tristan Wirfs. Okay. Then we have the Chargers, Mekhi
Either
Becton, offensive tackle. They just lost Russell Okung.
wait. Who's the Chargers quarterback?
Huh?
Who's the Chargers quarterback?
Tyrod Taylor, bro.
Man, Tua.
I'm just saying, bro, that you know what I mean? Like they did just lose Russell Okung, bro. Hold on. No. Yeah. They lost Russell Okung to the Carolina Panthers. So they want to bring in that guy, bro. Then we have the Panthers cornerback Jeff Okudah. Then we have the Broncos, and it's looking like the Broncos might be the sleeper team that wants a wide receiver, bro. Then we have the Jags.
Need a quarterback. Are they gonna stick with Drew Lock?
Yeah, they're gonna stick with Drew, bro. I think
or do they take two?
I like Drew Lock myself, bro. He's a player, bro.
And Herbert's still on the board. So we got Herbert still on the board.
Herbert is off the board. Herbert is off the Dolphins. And then we have the Jags. They just lost Calais Campbell, so we know they're going defensive tackle. So that's probably Derek Brown or Kinlaw.
Where's Wills?
Huh?
Where's Wills?
He hasn't. We haven't said him yet. And then we got the Browns, who definitely need an offensive tackle. That's Andrew Thomas. Then we have the Falcons, who need a safety and a linebacker because they just lost Vic Beasley. They also they just picked up Dante Fowler, so they definitely
Where's Simmons
need
going?
Isaiah Simmons. That's who's projected to go to the Falcons. Then you have the Raiders, CeeDee Lamb, and then you have us, either Jerry Jeudy or Ruggs, bro. And this is the ESPN mock draft. And what it says, as far as it says, the San Francisco 49ers went to the Super Bowl and made it very clear that they need to upgrade at wide receiver corps. Jeudy or Ruggs becomes what Emmanuel Sanders was to the team before moving forward to the Saints.
I'll say this. If they're looking for Sanders, then you go with Jeudy. If you're looking for something special, I think you go.
Hill. You look at Tyreek Hill. Hey, Kyle, look. Hey, even though it should have been a hold, I don't want him to hark on it. You know, Nick Bosa got tackled. He got tackled in front of the ref.
They were holding all game long, though.
And when he tossed that ball up, I said, "Oh, that's a pick," because he just threw it up in the air.
Yeah,
we made Patrick Mahomes look average. We made him look like an average quarterback. He was not great. We was in his all night. And it was just a rookie mistake, bro. It was just a rookie mistake by a young guy. And you know, Jimmy got there. If it would have just been a split second before, man, that was a pick, bro. Or at least if E-Man was in his face. So, but with Kyle seeing that, and when Tyreek Hill he gets the ball in space, I know he wants Ruggs. And if you look at, okay, so remember when the combine came by, right? And they said we interviewed 3 guys. It was Justin Jefferson, it was Jeudy, and it was Ruggs. And people were saying, man, why are we interviewing Ruggs and Jeudy? Because they already had that coach trade into working, and we didn't know nothing about it. It shows that our guys are proactive, bro. And I was very impressed by that. They already had a trade in motion, and they was already working on it, trying to figure out the numbers, trying to figure out how it was going to go down. And everybody, I said it myself, like, why the hell are we interviewing Ruggs and Jeudy? They already had a trade in place, and we was going to be able to get one of those guys.
All right. I mean, I guess we'll have to see what happens. I didn't know Nick left already. My bad. All right. So then, I mean, it's going to be really hard for me to see 3 wide receivers off the board before we pick. That's all I'm saying. It's not impossible, and obviously these mock drafts are always wrong. They're always wrong.
wrong. Yeah.
I mean,
I think that bro. I really feel like we're gonna get one of those 3 guys.
yeah, I do too.
You
And
know,
I think that we can move back a spot or 2 and still land one of those guys. I really do believe that.
I think we're gonna, because the Bucks, they're looking at getting Derek Brown. They're looking at getting another defensive tackle. You know,
you also got to look at how deep this wide receiver class is too. When the wide receiver class was really deep last year, what it was the end of the first round before a wide receiver came up.
Went off the board, bro.
Yeah. I can't, like, when you get deep classes, people feel like, all right, there's multiple options that can help our team, so let's capitalize on other options. That's how they look at it, and
because they're going to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to be there. Yeah.
I can't see all that. Anything is possible. Let me make it clear, but I can't see it this year. I can't see 3 wide receivers going in the top 15.
I can't either, bro. I can't either. That's why I say I think we're going to get one of those guys, bro. I just don't see it happening. There's so many teams like the Dolphins, the Browns, the Cardinals. There's so many teams who have weapons on their offense, but their O-line is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks included. Everybody's talking about Tom Brady. Do y'all realize Jameis Winston is way faster and more agile than Tom Brady, and he got sacked 47 times last year? And they still haven't addressed that problem?
They're going to have to.
They're still talking about going to get a defensive lineman in the draft?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand it. Same thing with the Washington Redskins. Trent Brown ain't coming back, bro. He ain't coming back. So they can say quarterback and going to get Chase Young. They'd be stupid as hell if they do that, because they need an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so many teams, bro. It's just so many teams that need that offensive lineman.
Even if the Bucks don't need an offensive, they're not going wide receiver again. They have a really good core already.
They can't.
They got 2. They have 2 wide receivers that can be viewed as number 1s on other teams.
Yep.
And they have a tight end that is being. Listen, they have a tight end that is really good.
They got a top 5 tight end.
Right. They have a tight end that's really good, and that's Brady's favorite target is a tight end. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. There's no way they go wide receiver. There's no way.
Not if Brady got to say so, like they say They said he has, I guess, some type of executive. He's like part of the decision making for the roster.
Wow.
That was one of his sticks, bro. He wanted to have say so in how they form the roster, bro.
I'm glad that we know.
And he got sacked, I think, like 32 times last year. And he looking at how Jameis got sacked 47. Man, that 43-year-old body ain't gonna be able to hold up, bro. And one thing the NFC South is known for is having good front sevens.
Let me
ask this: nothing else.
If both of the Alabama wide receivers are on the board when we get there, do you trade back? If someone's willing to trade back to 15, who's at 15?
15 is hold on.
I got it right here.
Oh.
Broncos got 2 first. Yep. They're at the Broncos.
We can't do that because the Broncos are slated to the wide receiver is one of their needs. Even though they just lost Shelby Harris, they lost Derek Wolfe.
No, Broncos are only at 15. The Raiders are ahead of us. The Jets are ahead of us. The Browns, the Jaguars, the Cardinals.
They had the Broncos up at 8, so somebody obviously had them trading up to get a wide receiver. But they just lost. They need a cornerback bad. They need 2 defensive tackles. Wolf and Shelby was beast. They lost both of them.
This was just put. The draft order was just put out on. This is March 21st that I'm looking at from ESPN.
Okay.
And they have the Cardinals sitting at 8.
Okay. So then that would have been Broncos trading up at 8.
Cardinals not going wide receiver now.
Hell no.
No, they ain't going receiver now.
Hell no. Not with DeAndre Hopkins and Fitzgerald and all of them dudes, man.
They might even trade out of that pick.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. If we could get that 8 spot from the Cardinals, go get it. Hey, but I don't know. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. The Cardinals scare me, bro.
I'm trying to tell you.
Hey,
The Cardinals
hey,
are definitely
yeah,
a team to watch out for next year.
they kind of they looking kind of scary, bro. But at the same time, Kyler is young. He's still gonna make the mistakes. You know what I mean? But them suckers gave us a run for our money.
To touch on what you were saying about Brady, though, he already tried to bring Antonio Brown there with him. Like I was saying, like once he went there, and Arians could have stopped that shit.
Yeah, Aaron said, "Nah, I know, AB, and it's just not gonna be a fit. It just ain't gonna happen, and it ain't gonna be no money." He shut that shit down quick. And you know what's funny? You had Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, all these guys talking bad about Antonio Brown the whole time, right? And as soon as Brady goes to the Bucks, now it's okay to get him to go help Brady.
Well, everybody was talking bad about him, and then he went to the Patriots, and they were like, "Oh, what a great move! What a great move!"
Right, right.
It's
to fit the narrative that Brady is like, oh, Brady could, Skip Bayless, Brady could keep him in line. Bro, you can't keep no grown ass man in line, bro. Cut that out.
They said the same thing about Josh Gordon when he went there. Oh, he's done in the NFL, and then he went there. Oh, this is going to be the rebirth. They said the same thing when Ocho Cinco went there. Oh, it's going to ignite his career. Every time somebody goes somewhere where Brady is or the Patriots, they're like, "Oh, that's a perfect move. It's a perfect move." But if another team does it, they're ready to bash it. I can't stand these national shows because the bias, like they can't even help it. Like they'll spend all season bashing a player, but because Belichick or Brady gets them, it's like, man, that's the best move ever. And other teams are foolish for not making this move. No, we remember what y'all were just saying 3 days ago, bro.
Exactly, and that's why I don't be. It's only one I mess with. That's under.
We lost your audio. We lost your audio.
Oh, I said that's why I don't pay attention to none of them guys, bro. It's only one, and that's undisputed. And because Shannon Sharp be tearing Skip Bayless ass up. Otherwise,
Shannon Sharp.
Yeah,
he's the only one is Shannon Sharp. I don't know what happened to his mic.
Hold on, real quick. I don't know what the hell going on.
I'm gonna ask you this question, Mike. While he's doing that, what do you think? Who do you think is the most underrated player on Arizona right now? Their move that they did this year.
Oh, a move that they did. Oh, I thought you meant in general. Okay, I was gonna say Andy Isabella for sure.
Last year, it's not just this year, but they did. I won't give you my guy, but I'm sure you'll probably take him. But
the most underrated player on their team right now, it's weird to call him underrated, but I think it's Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, that's exactly who I was gonna say. He boosted that offense like there was no tomorrow. You got. Go ahead, Dre. See if we can hear you.
Nothing.
I'm gonna come back in.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I would say Kenyon Drake as well because he boosted their run game. He boosted their screen pass game.
The checkdowns, yeah.
And then, talking about the Cardinals, man, they're going to be dude, they were up 20 on us half at one point last year on this defense. Like, if we I think winning the West next year is going to be harder than getting to a Super Bowl.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. I think that Cliff, with the weapons that he has, and a lot of people laughed at what when the Cardinals made that move and hired him. People mocked it when everybody knew that he was going to go after Kyler Murray, because he said it before he even made it to the pros, that if I was coaching a team in the NFL and I had the opportunity, I'm taking Kyler Murray. And the GM, Steve Keim is the GM, right? He was like, oh no, we haven't decided on who the first. It's funny that everybody knows what the first round pick is, and we haven't decided yet, bro. Everybody knew, and everybody mocked him.
He said the shit. He said it. I got to give it to Cliff Kingsbury. Even when we played him, bro, he had a good scheme. We're not gonna try to do anything over the top. They're gonna pick us off. We're gonna hit them with screens. We're gonna do a lot of play action. We're gonna do a lot of rollouts, and we just gonna dink and dunk and see what our speed guys could do.
Bro,
You know what?
you run a 4 wide receiver set.
Hey, we were gassed by the fourth quarter. We were gassed, and I started to get nervous.
You know why it was successful is because our defensive line is so aggressive, right? They take the pocket and they do this to it. This is what our defensive line over here. Our defensive line does to a pocket, right? And so what he did was he spread everybody out. He spread everybody out. You had our defensive ends. They snap the ball and it's a quick pass to the left or the right side, and those guys go from engaging to releasing and running straight to the sideline because they got to try to make a play. And so he gassed us like it's a gene. He used our strength against it. He's no slouch. He's no slouch.
He's not.
He's going to get a lot of respect this coming year.
That's what I'm saying. Now you add DeAndre Hopkins and Larry Fitzgerald on a 4 wide receiver set. Christian Kirk
with the speed of Isabella. Oh my God, Isabella's really too.
That's scary,
bro.
Hey, and the thing that scares us about the schedule this year is the AFC East is, bro. The Dolphins got a lot better. The Jets are getting a lot better. The
Bills are good. The Bills are scary.
The Patriots. It's like our schedule is just like, oh, okay, we had a tough schedule this year, and then next year you look at the schedule, it's like, damn, bro. And then we probably gonna have to go over. I bet you for all the money I want, bro. I bet you we're gonna be playing over there when it's cold as hell. We're gonna be playing over there when it's cold. Oh, bro. Then we got the Eagles. Like it's just not easy places to go in and win a game. You know,
well, we got Philadelphia at home.
Oh, we got Philly. Okay, I ain't worried about that.
Yeah, the East Coast games this year are the Giants, Jets, and Patriots. Right.
Ooh.
Those are the ones.
We got the Bills at home too.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I believe the Bills are at home. In San Jose.
Okay, then I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it.
Really?
But the Bills is tough though. It's going to be a tough ass game. They went and got like 3 starters on like the front 7, bro. Like and then they just got Diggs, but at the same time, Josh Allen led the league in bad passes.
Yeah, but Josh Allen ain't afraid to let it rip, and that's what scares me because
he can let it rip, and we're gonna pick his ass off.
I'm gonna save it for later. This is the second time.
Yeah, we got the Bills at home.
Oh yeah, then I ain't worried.
Our away games are Jets, Giants, Saints, Patriots, Rams, Cowboys, Cardinals.
Cardinals and Seahawks, right?
Nah, there's another team missing.
All
right, we know about the 4 division games. So then there's Jets, Giants. Oh no, you named them already. So we know about No, wait, it's only 3 in the division. So we are missing 1.
We got the Jets, we got the Giants, we got the Cowgirls, and we got the Patriots.
And the Saints.
Seattle.
And the Saints. The Saints. That's the 5 non-division ones.
Why can't we ever get the Saints at home? Why do we always have to go to the Dome?
We did like 2 years ago. We played the Saints at home.
We did?
Yeah, I believe so.
It seemed like every time we play New Orleans, bro, it seemed like we ain't played New Orleans at home since the John Lynch days, bro. It seemed like every time we play them clowns, we got to go into the – I would have called the league office and say, hey, bro, if I'm Kyle, I'm calling it, hey, bro, what's going on, bro? Like, we can we get these dudes to come to our house?
Right. It's kind of crazy. I'm trying to think the last –
I don't know. That might be playoff game. Though. That game was off the hook.
I know that was lit.
The last non-playoff game that we played the Saints at home.
It was a long time ago, bro.
It had to be
the bulky.
I thought it was the same year that we played Brady at home. We played Brady at home and we played Drew Brees at home.
When we smashed Brady with Cap when it was 34-20.
No, we won at home that game.
We went to New England.
Right, that was in New England. That was in the snow.
New England, and we got that ass too. I remember that.
That was a game. That was a game where it was 31-7, and then they came back on us, and then we ended up finishing like 45-31 or some shit like that.
It was 34-20.
No,
we won.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, bro.
They scored in the 30s. We finished with 40 something, like 45 or something like that.
2016 was the last time we played them at home, and we lost 41-23.
Yeah.
You're talking about in California.
In California, yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
but 2012 when we played them in 2012 in New England, we jumped out. It was 31-7. Then they just rattled off mad touchdowns, and it was a tie game. And then Crabtree had that big play, and then we ended up scoring again. It was like 45. It was like 45.
Yeah, that was the back and forth game. We were up like 28-0.
I thought it was 34-20. My bad. I thought it was 34-20.
That was the year that Obama interrupted the game, and everybody had to switch to a different channel.
Holy
there was something
shit.
going on nationally.
Wow. Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. So
Yeah, but the last time I played the Saints at home was 2016.
Yeah,
2016 we were at home.
16, yeah, we lost 41.
The AFC East ain't no give me no more, bro. It's just the way how the league works, and I don't know. It seems like every time we go to play teams, man, they just get a lot better. They just get a lot better.
Mark Ingram slashed that game. Drew Brees was 28-39 for 323 yards and 3 touchdowns. Mark Ingram was 15 carries for 158 yards, average 10.5 yards a carry.
Why can't I remember that game?
They gave us the business.
Michael Thomas had 5 receptions for 73 yards. Cooks had 5 for 66.
Who was our quarterback?
I'm looking up now.
And that's what we're gonna have to see this year. We're gonna have to see.
Cap was the quarterback.
We're gonna have to see Cooks this year because the chances are slim that he get knocked out.
Yo,
Cooks don't even know what team he's gonna be on. What are you talking about?
Hold on, I want you to guess who
Cooks for the Saints.
Oh
yeah, I want you to guess who our running backs were that game.
All right, let me try this. 2016, Sean Drone.
Nope.
Fred Warner.
Nope.
Harris.
DeJuan Harris.
DeJuan Harris and Hyde.
And who's the other one? Huh?
Carlos
Hyde.
Nope.
Was it the guy that played on the Redskins with Kyle?
No, not Sean Drone. Nope.
DeJuan Harris. Kendall Hunter? No, Kendall Hunter was going by then.
I don't know, bro. I remember Sean Drone.
Was Frank Gore still here?
Nope.
DeJuan Harris.
I don't know, bro.
Oh, wait. No. I was about to say Brandon Jacobs. No, that was before then.
Nope.
Brandon Jacobs. Injury.
I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna figure this out. Hold on.
Well, eventually, you keep naming a bunch of names. You're gonna get it. I'm not even gonna give you a hint because somebody in the chat got it.
I'm not looking at the chat though. I'm not touching my phone. Juan Harris, Colin Kaepernick. Can you tell me our receivers?
Our receivers? Yeah, give me 1 second.
If you tell me our receivers, I could try to figure out.
Quentin Patton led us that game. 6 for 106 yards. Vance McDonald, 3 for 84. DeJuan Harris, 5 for 83. Garrett Selleck, Jeremy Curley, Corey Smith. I can't tell you this other guy. And then Aaron Burbridge.
I had high hopes for Quentin Patton, too.
So did Mike. That was Mike's guy.
Man, he came from La Tech, the same school as Trent Taylor, bro. I had high hopes for Quentin Patton.
Come on, Mike.
You already said it wasn't Sean Drone, right?
Yeah, I had high hopes for this dude, too.
Was he drafted or was he a free agent?
Nah, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. That's cheating. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Hold on. 2016.
Joe Williams.
No.
Joe Williams.
Nope.
No, because that was a Shanahan year. This was the Chip Kelly team. This was the Chip Kelly team.
Oh. I don't know.
It was God damn it. Chip Kelly. I don't know. I can't. I'm gonna be mad when you
He
tell me
left
that.
us and went to the Seahawks.
Oh, fucking Mike Davis. God damn it.
Yep.
Mike
Exactly.
Davis.
Mike Davis. Oh, Mikey.
Shit. Why couldn't I figure that out, man? Bum ass people, man.
Well, that's why I said I didn't want to give you no hints because as soon as I give you a hint, you would know.
Oh man.
Mike
Oh my
Davis.
God. We have
Yeah,
come
Mike
such a long way. We have
Mike
come a
Davis.
long way, man. A long way. This team is so much better.
Bro,
Oh
did you just listen to that roster?
no,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Aaron Burbridge. I had hopes for Aaron Burbridge. I
Yo,
had hopes
hold
for
on, you want to hear our defense?
Oh wait, I could now this I could probably do.
Johnson, Kwaski, Jimmy Ward,
Armstead, Buckner,
Buckner, the guy who used to do the
white linebacker. What's the white linebacker's name?
Cassius Marsh.
No.
Marsh wasn't there. Colin
Here,
Jones.
I'm gonna give you numbers and let's see if you can guess them that way.
Okay.
From 2016.
Elvis Dumerville.
Nope. All right, here we go. Number 51.
Linebacker. It wasn't Collins.
Nope.
Linebacker.
This is actually a fun game.
Nah, this is torture. I'm hating this. We going on 3 hours. I'm going inside, bro. It's 1 o'clock. Who the 51?
Come on, boys. He led the team with 9 tackles that day.
Oh, the dude that went to the Giants. What the hell was the linebacker's name that went to the Giants? He came from the Eagles. I mean, from the Raiders.
No.
Malcolm Smith?
No.
Not Malcolm Smith.
What's the dude's name that came from the Raiders? You said it wasn't him already, but what was the dude's name that came from the Raiders and he went to the Giants?
He might have went to the Giants. It's Gerald Hodges.
Oh,
wow.
Okay, no, that's not the guy I was thinking about. What's the guy's name that went to the Giants? He came from the Raiders. They said he was a liability and pass. What the freak was his name?
Malcolm Smith.
No, it wasn't Malcolm Smith. Not him. It's another guy. It was another guy.
Who was our linebacker next to Hodges? Number 50.
Chris Borland?
Nope. This is crazy.
That's the only 50 I can remember.
Who was it? My wife is flagging me.
Nick Ballure.
Oh my! That's the white dude I was talking about.
Ballure? Oh yeah, I remember him. Oh man, I'm happy those days are over. Good lord.
What about number 68? Offensive player.
68. That's an offensive lineman, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Rashad. Oh, he was a big guy.
On defense or offense? That was offense, right?
No, he was the offensive lineman.
Who was it?
Fucking Zane Beatles.
I'm out of here.
Hey, and we gave him a good contract too. He actually had a nice contract too. I remember that.
I'm out of here. I'm not doing this with y'all tonight.
All right, hold on. Who was our kick returner of that game?
All right, now that I might be able to guess. Our kick return? No, I can't guess that because we
Jeremy Curley.
Yeah, Curley should have been the kick returner. If Curley was on the team, he should have been the kick returner.
That was the kick returner.
But it wasn't that game.
Quentin Patton?
Nope.
Nah, Patton wasn't a returner. It was either a corner or a receiver.
His number was 38.
What?
I have no idea.
That's a DB.
Who was it?
Ja'Cory Shepard.
Hey, bro,
right, guys, I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of here. Listen how bad. Hey, what week was this we played? It had to be late in the season. These are all backups.
We were 1-7.
Oh,
and so it was game number 9.
Yeah. That's when
the Saints were 4-4. We were 1-7.
That was a tough year, bro.
That was
That
Chip
was
Kelly's
hard.
only year, and the one win that we got was the opening night.
Yeah, and we had to pay him for like 3 more years after that.
It's crazy because the only win we got was week 1, and that was against the Chargers. That was the second Monday night game.
Yeah.
I stayed up late to watch that game against the Chargers.
DeForest Buckner had 1 tackle.
Oh my God.
Top 5, dude.
Eric Armstead had none.
Top 5. Top 5, baby.
That's crazy.
That's horrible.
Mm-mm.
Glenn Dorsey.
Glenn Dorsey was on the freaking team.
He was
and so was Earl Mitchell, right? Earl Mitchell?
Like, Glenn Dorsey was like Quentin Dial, bro. Both Alabama guys, both dominated in college, and as soon as we got them, their knees broke down and they wasn't shit.
Yeah, Quentin Dial was on his team.
Yeah.
Keith Reeser.
Oh God.
He was number 20? Keith Reeser was number 20, right?
27 or something like that.
27. Bro,
why are we doing this?
Why are we doing that? Look how far we've come in 3 years.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
They did a hell of a job because you got to remember that all the stuff you're saying right now, this team took over the following year. The following year. It's incredible to think how far we've come.
And all of those guys, man, Whitner and man, a lot of those guys, bro, when they left, it was just a lot of dead cat, bro. Balky and fucking John Lynch just couldn't see eye to eye. But I'm happy it happened, though. It is what it is.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm good, man. This was fun.
Peace out to the Niner fam, man. Hey, if y'all can, give your boy a follow, man. Give your boy a follow.
Somebody summed it up right here, Khalil Young. Those were some dark days.
Real shit. Bro.
Dark ain't the word. And you know what's crazy? I knew for sure they were going to bring Chip Kelly back because his dad died that year, and they buried him in 49ers.
And they buried him in 49ers stuff. Yo, the best part of all this, though, is we were still talking shit that we were still the best in the league.
Right. No, because you see the potential in people, and we just never lived up to it. And that's the difference with this roster. Okay, you know what? I'm going to say this, and this is my last comment, right? Everybody who's a fan of any team, you see the potential in the players. You might not see the stats. You might not see the numbers. You see the potential in all these players, right? This coaching staff versus that coaching staff, Chip Kelly could not bring out the potential because he played his system, whether it worked or not. Right? With this coaching staff, they find a way to maximize the potential of every single player, even if they're not number 1 wide receivers, number 2 wide receivers. They find a way to get every single player to perform to their maximum ability. And that's the difference. And that's why coaching is important, folks. That right there. I'm done.
Yeah. All right, man. Shout out to the NBA fan, man. I'll see y'all, bro, in a couple of days. And next time y'all do one, y'all already know I'm gonna be here, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for the support, man. We appreciate it. Everybody who rocked out. If anybody watched this for 3 hours, God bless y'all. I can't believe Nick ended it with this. I can't believe you ended it this way, bro. You crazy, Nick.
Peace out, Niner fan.
That was just like, what the hell? But yeah, no, Dre, thanks for jumping on. And damn, he didn't even say peace out. No, I'm just messing around. Mike, it was a good show, man. I had fun.
You know what? I think we should do this again, right? People were talking about trivia. They said they want to see like random trivia. I think we should go back no more than 5 years and ask questions just like what we just did to end some shows. That'll be a lot of fun. No matter what we're talking about.
Well,
cool.
We have enough followers now, man. We could do a trivia, just one show, and pick 2 random people and bring them on, and maybe we can do a shirt giveaway.
I never even gave out the other stuff. I still got.
Yeah, we got a lot more followers now, so I think people will be.
Yeah,
that's when we were first starting. But I'm saying, like, if we're live, like, let's just pick 2 random people
and
that want to come on and let them back on out. We'll just give them an NBA Niner shirt.
I'm with it. Sounds good, man.
Yeah. Appreciate all the love and support, guys, for those 70 of you that have stuck with us here, man. Appreciate you. And somebody asked a question the other night or earlier when we're going to do draft shows. We'll probably start doing draft shows or mock drafts again in April. So maybe like the second week of April, we'll do it for like that last 2 weeks. Let things heat up a little bit, and then we'll do some shows like that. But
absolutely,
all right, Mike, I'm good, man.
Yeah, man, guys. Just my final thought for the night is, people say, "Oh, Shanahan can't do it in the big game and all that," but this what Nick just did at the very end here was a great reminder of how important coaching is and why you don't just give up on a good coach. We've seen good coaches get run out of places and go other places and win, such as Andy Reid. Andy Reid made it to the playoffs, all but 3 or 4 years or something crazy like that while he was in Philly. He made it to the Super Bowl once or twice. And
2004, yeah.
And they didn't win it, but they ran him out of town. You got to stick with these good coaches. And that exercise right at the end was just a crazy example of, trusting the regime. We've seen them turn around the entire roster. We've seen them get the maximum out of every single player. Coaching is very, very important, guys. And so just stick with the team, guys. Stay faithful. Don't let people get you down. We're not going to win them all. We're going to damn sure try, though. And we have this staff, complete staff, roster and staff here to do it. So stay faithful, guys. We're going to be back soon. And that's all I got.
Yeah, man.
Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful.
We out of here. Peace.